16 September 2014. He has also participated and presented a research paper in a third South Asia Biosafety Workshop held at Dhaka, Bangladesh during 19 and 20 September 2015. Then he has also released varieties Dapoli 2, first variety of finger millet invented through tissue culture technique, rich in mineral like calcium and ferrous. He has also released another important variety, Panvel 3, a salt tolerant rice variety for coastal saline soil of Maharashtra. Then sir has also awarded with several awards. I read few. He has a fellow of Indian Society of Coastal Agriculture Research, West Bengal, 2021. He has also received of Dr. J.S.P. Yadav Best Research Paper Award by Indian Society of Coastal Agriculture Research, West Bengal, 2002. Then he has also honored for scientific guidance to the student in a DPEX 2013 as a Best Research Guide by All India Student Council, New Delhi. He also awarded with the Best Poster Presentation Award in a national seminar held at Dr. Balasaheb Sawant Krishi Vidyapith Dapoli on 17 and 19 March. He has also awarded with a Nirmala Krishna Memorial Trust, Mumbai, and International Society for Advance of Agriculture, Science and Technology, sponsored Best Research Paper Award 2017. He has also awarded with the Mukunda Ganesh Dandekar Best Researcher Award for notable research contribution in agriculture with a cash prize of rupees 2,500 for the year 2017, hosted by Dr. Balasaheb Sawant Krishi Vidyapith Dapoli. Once again, I welcome to all faculty members and our resource person, Dr. Savadekar sir. And now I request our resource person, Dr. Savadekar sir, please enlighten us with your valuable knowledge and share your experience with us.
Thank you, Dr. Narayan. So you have given I have sent very brief, but you have given the very detailed biodata. So I'm happy and I'm very happy to know that. So you are also working there. So good morning to the one and all. Respected the Dean, Dr. Vinod Dhar sir, all the faculty members, and all the dignitaries which is present online for this faculty development program. So first I'd like to congratulate you, all the coordinators, for making such a very interesting training program. And because the refreshment is also necessary. So there is a need to go for this such type of the training program. So I really congratulate you first. So I have gone through the profile of this Vaishnav Vidyapita Vishwavidyalaya. So it is established in the long back. So I think more than 100 years. So this is this institute is very old, and they have started the very different education in not only in the agriculture but also in the engineering, also in the traditional. So I'm very happy to know that such type of the institution, and I got the opportunity to interact with you people. So it's a really pleasure to me, and I'm very much thankful to the dean as well as the coordinator of this training program for giving me such type of the opportunity. So coming to our presentations today, so that is the plant tissue culture techniques, that is the economically important crops. So we already know that in 1980, it was the era of the IT and the BT. So the IT and the BT since 1980, so they both are going into the hand to hand. And now if you see the progress of the biotechnology, specifically last 2 years, that is into the corona, that is the COVID situation. So that biotechnology has played a very important role. So number of these disciplines are there. So there are the tissue culture. So there are the molecular biology. This the tissue culture. It is the prime most important, because we cannot proceed without the tissue culture to the genetic engineering as well as the molecular biology. So may I audible to you?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yes, because audible, sir. It is somewhat unstable here. So morning, it is What happened, I don't know, but it is somewhat unstable. So anyhow, so we'll start with this. So if you see the Indian agriculture, so importance of the Indian agriculture, so it is considered as India, it is considered as the less developing countries in ages, since ages. So, and the agriculture development has always added the economy of this nation and make a secured place in the world market economy. So we are saying that the 65% of the population is depends on the agriculture, and most near about the 50% of the Indian economy depends upon the agriculture. So how it has made possible? So if you go for the ancient years, so the agriculture was the most important, and that time the occupation, main occupation. So in the data it is near about the 65%. But if you go for the others, other literatures, so that time it has said that more than the 70% occupation is totally depends on the agriculture. So if you see the Indian agriculture after independence, so there is a lot of the progress has been done, and this progress it is started into the 1970s. So that is after the Green Revolution. So it has begun with the development of the good varieties, that is the dark varieties in case of the rice, as well as in case of the wheat. So which has giving these superior yielding and the disease resistant wheat varieties in combination with the better farming knowledge to improve the productivity. So the state of the Punjab, it is a leading, and the Green Revolution, so they have started there, and there is a, so make this particularly the bread basket is developed at the Punjab. So initially increase in the production was centered in the irrigated areas, because of it is a very well developed area, that is nothing but a Punjab, Haryana and the Uttar Pradesh, and these are the most prime leading states which have started these make the India self-sufficient in case of these cereals, particularly in the rice as well as the wheat. The hectare of the Indian wheat farm that produced an average of the 0.8 tons in 1948. So now it is started to produce near about 4.7 tons in wheat. So if in same case in rice also, it was earlier it was near about the 1.5 ton per hectare, but now it is reached to the 3.5 hectare, that is average. But in some pockets, particularly in case of this Punjab and the Haryana, so they are very leading in this, and they are harvesting near about the 4.5 tons per hectare in case of the rice. So this progress is happen. So how this progress is happen? So India is a contribution of the agriculture to the Indian economy. Just we have gone through this. And here there are the largest producer of the milk, cashew nuts, coconuts, tea, ginger, turmeric, and the black pepper. So along with this, it has a large production of the grains, other agriculture products also, and the quality and the quantity produced are in demand in the outside of the world, and hence export can be produced adds to the Indian economy. So now we are not only the self-sufficient, but we are in the position to export the food grains to the other countries. So how it is made possible? So there is a modern techniques have came. So among this, so there is a mechanization, it is the most important. So government has improved the new techniques, that is to improve the quality of the production along with the stable good quality of the agro-based products. And it has a possible because of the mechanization. So not of the mechanization has came. And here, not only the agriculture, it was not only depends on the man, but the women can also participate, so that they can also drive. So the machineries which is developed, so they can also drive the machineries, and they are bringing put forth to the Indian economy, particularly in case of the agriculture. So if you go for the contact farming, so the contact farming, it is also in progress. So same times the ag market, so that is the agriculture market, it was the primary important, and but at the same time the biotechnology has came into the limelight when the BT has developed, that is the first biotechnological product. So that is nothing but a genetic engineering product, that is a BT cotton. So this BT cotton has been developed through the this genetic engineering technique, but the basic it was a tissue culture. So if you go for the plant tissue culture, so there is the totipotency, it is the most important. So the totipotency, so we need to harvest the totipotency, because the plant have the ability to develop that cell has the ability to develop into the whole plant, and we are necessity. There is a necessity to provide the good environment as well as some of the growth regulators to them, and then only it will produce the good plant type. So there is a plasticity is another one. So that is a totipotency, and the plasticity has become possible to development of the tissue culture technique. So there is a lot of the advantages are there. So that is the clonal propagations which are going to do, that is a true to type, large scale multiplication which is observed in case of the banana. So the biomass energy, particularly in case of the jatropha, then the breaking the dormancy. So that is in case of the particularly the seeds. So which are the remain viable for the several years. So we can able to, so that breaking the dormancy is the most important. Then another one is the pharma industries, that is nothing but a secondary metabolites. They are also playing important role here, and number of the secondary metabolites have been developed. Then the wide hybridization. So that means where it is a self-incompatibility, particularly the breeding point of view. So that is possible only because of this particular the tissue culture technique, that is the protoplasm fusion is there. So the genetic variability development. So if you go for the semicolon variation, we can able to develop the variability which is present among these genotypes. Then the disease-free plants. So this is because of the vascular tissues are there, and we can able to develop the prototype and at the same time the disease-free plants. And one of the most important and the primary, which is the development of the ploidy level. So we can increase or decrease the ploidy level. So that means we can able to develop the haploids. So through the pollen culture, so we can develop through the number of the varieties, particularly in case of the China. So they have developed the variety through the answer culture techniques. So there is the international exchange of the germplasm, which is possible because of the handling of the material. So that means the disease-free material, which is possible, and that too with the very good caretaking material, we can able to transfer from the one nation to the another nation. Somatic hybridization and the fast multiplication, it is also possible. Then the synthetic seeds. So that means, so those the embryos, so we can able to encapsulate the embryos, and we can able to preserve it, and as and when required, we can able to sell to the farmers. Then the early flowering, it is also possible, the genetic transformation. So just we have seen about the that is BT cotton. So they have made this, that is the era. So it is the era of the BT cotton now, and it is possible because of genetic transformation. And the somatic embryogenesis, it is possible in most of the fruit crops. Then the overcoming the self-sterility. So if you want to develop the particularly the different conditions are there, and if you go for the cucurbitaceae crops, so there are the number of the times, so there is a self-sterility occur, and so the farmers are losing their yield. So that time we can able to go for this. There is a self to overcome this issue, and the cryopreservation of the germplasm. So that means we can able to store the large number of the germplasm. So there is no need to go for the each and every years to go for the transplantation. So there is a, so this is the one approach. So this is the somewhat the flow chart, that is nothing but a explant and explant to callus, and the organ, and that is the dedifferentiation and the dedifferentiation. So once you understood what is the mechanism behind this, why to go for the dedifferentiation, how to go for the redifferentiation, then only we can able to proceed for the tissue culture technique. So there is a commercial propagated plants through the propagation through the microbiology in India. So if you go for the fruit crops, so there is a banana which has occupied the prime position. So no doubt, so there is this technique. It is a very well wider adaptability, as well as it is published into the large scale, and number of these plantlets are available through this tissue culture technique. Same time, the pineapple, strawberry, the citrus, so these are the fruit crops. So some extent of this what we say, the success has been also observed in case of the pomegranate. So there are the another cash crops. So if you know the example in case of the sugarcane and the potato, so they are also having the good type of the plantlets are available, and the commercially the Vasanta Sugar Institute, they are producing the commercial sugarcane. Then the spices like a turmeric, ginger, vanilla, and the cardamom. So here, so the farmers, they are totally relying on the total material, and if you mind it, so if you know that, so there is a 30% of this particular the bulk material is required as a mother source. So that means the yield, it is reduced up to the 30%, because the planting material which is required for this, it is more than the 30%. It is from the rhizomes. So this is possible only because of this tissue culture. So now the tissue culture plantlets are available for this. In case of the medicinal plant, that is aloe vera, geranium, patchouli, and the neem, they are having the prime positions. And the ornamental, so there is no need to say about the whatever you are saying. The improvement is into the specifically into the cut flowers. So that is only because of the tissue culture technique. No doubt, the limited success has been got into the woody plants, because there are a lot of limitations are there. So that will see into our next slides. But some of the success are also observed in case of the teak, then the bamboo, sandalwood, then the eucalyptus, then the populus. But and nowadays the people are focusing on the bioenergy. So that is nothing but a jatropha and the pongamia. So these are some of the commercially propagated plants are available. Now, what are the micro setups is required? Suppose that if you want to establish the commercial setup of the biotechnology laboratory, so we need to create the major facilities here. So what do you mean by major facilities? So what are the equipment, sophisticated equipments are required for that? Then the design, correct design, it is the most important, because so this is no doubt at the initial investment, it is very high, so that there is a correct design of this particularly the building is essential, and the efficiency of the operation order and the cleanliness will have to maintain here. Aseptic condition, it is important as far as the tissue culture is concerned, and the superior quality plantlets require the small space. So if lack of this planting material, so that is we can able to store into the small culture room. So specialized scientific and the technical persons, so this is the most important. So here, if you know the totipotency, which type of the explants, which type of the hormones would have to take, so that is the most important. And finally, the most important, that is the chemicals and glasswares and the tools and other minor laboratory supplies which is required for the tissue culture laboratory. So this setup, it is the most important. How to go for the setup? If you see the number of the designs are there. So there is a somewhat so whatever the available space is there, and how we are going to utilize this space into the very judiciously. So that is the most important. So there is somewhat these facilities that consist of the separate rooms for the media preparation, aseptic transfer, and the culture incubation, and the illuminated rack systems. So there are some of the system. It is given here. I will not go very detailed. So since you are the peoples of the science, so but the important thing is that so there is a cleanliness, maintaining the cleanliness, it is the most important. So there is a growth room and the incubation room, or particularly if you see that is as far as the tissue culture is concerned, that is called as the inoculation room. So these two important things are there. So we should make sure that so these rooms, they are very well equipped. The rooms should not be get contaminated at any time, and that at the same time you have to maintain very good condition or the environmental condition into this particularly the laboratory. So the annual, if you see, there are the number of these states are there. So the annual outcome of the states with the plant tissue culture, and very happy to say that the Maharashtra is the leading state in this, and near about the 25 units, they have the authorized units are there. But the same time, if you go for these particularly the Marathwada region, so there are the number of the laboratories are there. Same times it is the Pune region, so number of the laboratories are there. They have started with the self-entrepreneurship in case of the tissue culture, not only into the banana but also into the other cut flowers. So after that, there is the Karnataka, West Bengal are there, but the Tamil Nadu, even if you see here, there are the only units are less, but the capacity of the annual production, it is very high in case of this Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So these are just about the data which is available from this Patil and his co-worker in the research paper which is published into 2021. So there are some organizations are also involved in the commercial micropropagation in Maharashtra. So that is nothing but there are the Vasanta Sugar Institute, then the Florida Plant Culture, Green Laboratories, like that. There is a number of these particularly the organizations are there. And here, if you see here, the Jain irrigation system, Jalgaon, as well as the microplanty. So they are the very huge product. They are giving the very huge production of this tissue culture plantlets. So these are some of the highlights of this particular institute. Now, if you want to go for the commercializations, what is the necessity? Which type of the knowledge we require for this? So once if you want to go for this particularly the tissue culture technique, so that time, what is the mechanism? What is the cellular mechanism? What is the molecular mechanism? And the physiological aspects we need to take into the consideration. So that is the most important. Although the basic principle of the plant regeneration date back many years, understanding the cellular, molecular, and the physiological mechanisms, it is based on this principle is currently in progress. And if you see here, so there are the regenerated, the plants have the regenerative ability, but we'll have to need to harvest it, the high development of its developmental plasticity. So what are the different components which is involved into this? So that is nothing but a medium components. So what type of these sources, what type of the chemical sources we are using, which type of the phytohormones we are using, and most important is that is the explant type. So there is a which type of the explant we are utilizing for the tissue culture technique, because the totipotency is the most important, and each and every explant it will not give the totipotency. So the plants which is showing the plant part or the explant which is showing the totipotency, that we need to select it. So there are the number of this research papers are there, but what are the important is that is particularly the explant wounding, where the explant wounding is occur, because whenever we are saying that is the explant wounding, so that time there are the cell division takes place into that particularly periphery, and whenever there is a somewhat the cell division takes place, no doubt there is a somewhat the developmental plasticity is there, and this developmental plasticity into development into lead to the development of the organs. So this is the most important. Induced plant cell death, it is also important, because once there is a program is complete, then there is cell death, it is necessary. That is a program cell death, it is the most important. And the phytohormones interactions. So there is a endogenous level of this, particularly the oxygen, cytokinin, or the phytohormones, as well as the exogenous level of this particularly which is available into the media. So that a balance, it is the most important. And here, once you go for this mechanism, if we understand the mechanism of this, then the regeneration, it is not difficult in any crop. So even if in case of this particularly, so if you see, so just I have given the example that is nothing but explant. Explant, it is the most important. So if you see here, so there are the how to select the explant. So we'll have to minimize if you go, those who are doing the tissue culture, so they know very well. So the size of the explant, it should be very minimum. So number of the reasons are there, but the most important reason is that it should be it is free from the diseases as well as the microorganisms. So the size of this particular explant, and when the concept is that is a thin cell layer technique, that is a TCL technique, it is the most important. And this particularly, the concept of this particularly the TCL, which is developed by the Trans and Van in 1973, and it has described that is in vitro reprogramming, it is the most important, because if you see the cell which is not observed into the minute, which is not observed into the naked eye, so that individual cell has the ability to develop into the whole plant or the whole individual. So how it is made possible? So this particularly the system, it is the most important, that is reprogramming. So if you see here the multicellular, so this particular the TCL, they are having the multicellular systems, and their explants, they are small size and generally less than 1 to 2 mm in the thickness prepared from the differentiated plant organs. So if you see here, the actual regeneration capacity of the TCL is often much higher than the thicker conventional explants, partly due to having the higher ratio of the morphogenic cells. So this is the most important. That means the explant which is having a small size, they are having the morphogenic cell. So that means the actively dividing cells, they will get exposed into the media. And once they get exposed into the media, the developmental plasticity takes place automatically. So that means the transport between the medium and these cells are possible. So there are the two new concepts. So that is nothing but a growth correction factor and the geometric factor. So these are the demonstrated the extraordinary productivity of the TCL compared to the conventionally sized explant, and even in case when the actual or observed productivity of the TCL seems to be lower. But if you see here, so there is somewhat the systematic diagram is given here. The condition is that once the plant or the plant organ we are going to select this, it should be the going into the in vitro. Once you have selected the in vitro, so that time it should be very well. It should we can harvest that particularly explant at very good positions, and it so that means the minimum injuries we can able to do with the explant, because the maximum injuries happen into the explant. It is because of this particularly the chemical treatment. So we are avoiding here the chemical treatment. So there is no any chemical treatment, and it, as a result of that, there is a dividing cells which are there, so they will remain active. So that these are the important is that, so there is a conventional collagenesis, it is a possible because of, so we'll have to take the such type of the explant. And if you see here, that is 0.5 to 1 mm long, and it is very 0.5 to mm thick explants, even if it is the root. So we can able to go for the collagenesis, calogenesis also, as well as the rhizogenesis. So this is a possible because of the TCL, and there are the application of the TCLs where, so there is a taking place in case of the mass production of the orchids. So there is a direct bud organogenesis achieved in case of the African violet, gladiola, amaranthus, iris plant. So the number of the, particularly in case of the cut flowers, and the mass propagation of the many vegetable crops, including the beans, cowpea, lupine, rapeseeds, then the rice, sorghum, sesame, sugarcane, and the spinach. The micropropagation of the several medicinal and the woody plants, it is also possible. So this work is in progress, particularly in case of the woody plants, just like a mango, which is having the important. But the pomegranate, we have achieved the success into this. So these are the important achievements which is achieved through the TCL technique. So there are some of the model plants are there. There is some of the orchids, then the other ornamentals, then the field crops also, and the medicinal plants. So this type of, so the number of this particularly the crops are there, which is made possible because of this in vitro TCL explants. So these are some of the photographs. The thing is that the technique, it is a very good, but whatever the shoot regenerations are occur, so there is a embryos which is developed through this technique. So we need to get it very well mature. So if you go for the general, so if you take the example of the banana, so whatever the embryos are developed, they are very well matured. So there are the dividing cells are there, which is very active. But here, each and every cell, so they require some of the time for the progression. And once, because if you know that is a G1, yes, G2, and that is a cell division process are there. And here they are technically this whatever I said are in the earlier side, that is even if it is a number of the embryos are up there, but only few are going to regenerate. So that means this totipotency we need to harvest, and there is a need to go for this. Still, there is a need to go for the work into the development of this. But the somatic embryogenesis, if you see here, then a large number of the somatic embryos are possible. Only the thing is that we'll have to restandard it, and we'll have to reappropriate. We have to place it into the reappropriate media for harvesting its whole totipotency. So the another thing is that, so if you see not only the explant, but the genotype, it is also most important. So if you see the number of the genotypes are there, so we have taken the experiment in case of the rice, and we have developed the callus into the rice. So here, the scutellum derived callus, and we have observed that among the near about the 22 varieties, so the Ratnagiri 71 and the Kardat 4, they are found having the best regeneration ability. So that means the genotype, the interaction with the media, so that is also most important. So the all genotypes, they will not show the very good regeneration ability. So that the selection of the explant as well as the genotype, it is the most important. So this is the one. Another thing is that, so coming to the horticulture crops, so there is a, I already told you that the banana. So whatever the progress has made in case of this particular the tissue culture, it is possible in case of the banana, it is only because of the tissue culture technique. So the number of the industries have developed, number of the cut flower industries are also developed. But the banana, so it is a continuously running industry, and it is progressing very fast. The same time, if you go for this, so there are the G9, that is a grand 9, that is particularly what we will say, that is a AAA, that is a dwarf Cavendish. So it is made possible. So very easy to, but there are some of the local types, particularly in case of the red banana as well as the Safed Welchi. So these are the some of the elite cultures, cultivars, and these cultivars, they are having the very there are the tissues, whatever you say, so they were not as soft as compared to the dark Cavendish. So there is a specific techniques need to develop for this, and we have standardized the technique in case of this particular red banana as well as the Safed Welchi. Another thing is that, so this is a possible only because of the rise that is sword suckers. But the another important alternative for this that there is a floral organ. So why to go for the floral organ? So the floral organs, so they are very well protected. So there, if you see the bunch of this, particularly the flowers, so they are very well compact. They will get covered with this, so they are free from the microbes as well as the disease and pests. So they are get least exposed to the chemicals or the surface sterilizing agents. So there is a good regeneration ability. It is a possible because from this particularly the this floral organs, and we have made the success into this, and we see here, so there are a lot of the embryos are developed through this. So this is our achievement. So the floral organs, if you go for this, no doubt there are some types of the development of the clonal variation, but we need to detect it with the help of the that is particularly the fidelity testing. So fidelity testing, it is the other option is there. So we can go for the fidelity testing. Another thing is that this method is not a destructive method. So whenever the your banana shows the flowering, so we are wasting that. So we are cutting that because for the development of the fruits. So that particularly material we are going to utilize here. Here there is a wastage of the suckers takes place, but here where there is no any, so that means we cannot waste the plant parts here. So these are the some of the success which is achieved in case of the banana. Same time, that is the Garcinia indica. So this Garcinia, that is nothing but a kokum. It is in Marathi, it is called as the kokum, and this is having the very good medicinal property. And now the commercialization of this particularly this Garcinia, it is started, and the NCL they have also developed the protocol with the help of our institute. So we coordinate, we in the coordination, we are doing this project, and here we have achieved that. So it is a dioecious. So it is a dioecious. So the male flowers as well as the female flowers be bearing into the separate plants. So once you go for the seedling, then it is identified after the 5 to 6 years. So there is a proper proportion of the female plants should be necessary to cultivate and to give to the farmers. So there is a 90% female and the 10% male, it is necessary, and this is possible through the tissue culture technique. So once you bring it, and now we have standardized that. So with the help of this particularly small birds, we can able to develop the 1,000 numbers of these plantlets of this Garcinia. So this is made possible in case of the woody plants. No doubt there are some of the phenolic means problems are there, but we have overcome that particularly the phenolic problems, and now we have standardized this media, and this particularly we are going to commercialize the technique as per as the entrepreneurship point of view. So another one is coming to the mango. It is also important. So you know the Maharashtra and particularly the Ratnagiri district, it is a famous for Alfonso mango. And these are the Alfonso mango. They are right now they are propagated through the that is stone grafting technique. But the stone grafting technique, so there are a lot of variations are occurring nowadays. So once you are developed through this technique, particularly the somatic embryogenesis, particularly, and through the callus, so we have achieved the callus regeneration through these some of the explants, and now we are also in the process of the development of each explant. So regeneration of the explant, it is also possible, but there is a need to work because of the phenolic compounds. If you see here, so there is a blackening of this particularly media is takes place because of the ditching of the phenolic compound. So this is the one area which is which need to go for the commercialization. And another thing is that the entrepreneurship, it is possible because of this developing such type of the technologies. So the bamboo, it is also important. So this is called as the green gold or the poor man's timber, as well as the bamboo friend of the people. So the demand for the bamboo in the resources in India, it is 26.9 million tons, out of which only we are producing 13.47 million tons. That is half of supply we are achieved. But if you see the conventional bamboo is propagated through the seeds, offsets, and the cuttings. So this is also somewhat we will say that is the vanishing method. So, and the seeds, if you totally rely on the seeds, so that means the bamboo is bearing after the 50 years. So that means getting the seeds once in 50 years, it is also somewhat the headache. So that they need to go for this type of the technology. So there are the long intervals of seeding in many species, that is poor seed set, short seed viability. Then there are low survival rate, it is also there. And the clump and the material is always available, and the seasonal specificity of the material. So it is particularly it is taking place in case of the November to the January. The chances of the transfer of the disease material from the other mother plant and the large variety of propagation, it is important because of this. But here the innovator technique of the Western Ghat of the bamboo we are standardized here. And why to go for this? It is a rapid multiplication. It is possible, and the limited success of the limited number of the explant is required for this. And here the uniform and the true type of the plants are possible because of this. So this is the some of the technique we have developed through this. So we have with the help of this particular small internodes we have developed this, and these are the small internodes. They are developing the multiple shoots. And if you see here, from the single shoots near about the 1,000 of the plants we can able to develop. So the rooting and all these things, it is possible, the hardening and all these things. Important thing is that is the rhizome formation. It is also observed in case of the tissue culture plantlets. So because most of the times, so there is a need for the multiple shooting. It is the most important, and this is also made possible because of this tissue culture technique. Coming to these woody plants, particularly in case of the teak. So there is no doubt. So there are the various uses of this teak. But since it is a woody plant, so there is, if you go for this particularly, specifically for this meristem culture. So that particular the meristem, if you bring the meristem and if you put into the specific media, so that time we will go for the callus induction, and through the callus we can able to develop the shoots and all these things. So now we have standardized this technique, and now we are in the position of the development of the whole plantlet. So within 1 or 2 months, we are developing this whole plantlet regeneration technique. So this is the one of the good achievement, because of the woody plants getting the regeneration capacity. It is very difficult. So coming to this particularly the sandalwood, it is also work has been done here, and here we have standardized that different media combinations are there. So that already the research paper is published on that. Then there are some of the limitations of what we have observed here. So that irregularities in case of the somatic embryos. So just we have seen that all somatic embryos they will not going to regenerate. Then the lower rooting ability of the excised shoots and the low survival percentage and the low frequency of the callus formation are observed. So these are some of the limitations of this timber. Another important area that is nothing but a tuber crops. So what you will see, that is particularly in case of the potato, same thing is happening to the Edipon puteum. So near about the 40% of the plant material, the farmers which is producing, they are keeping for the seed. So that means the 40% it is loss. So how to minimize this loss? To minimization of this loss, we'll have to go for this particular the tissue culture technique. And particularly in case of the elephant puteum, we have standardized that, and individual plantlets we have developed through this particularly the suckers. So these are some of the embroids which have been developed here. If you see here, these are the embroids, and these are the plantlets we have developed through this. So along with the roots and the shoots. So this once you make it, so that time the farmers will be very happy, and we have observed that these particular plants, they are showing the 20% more yield as compared to the traditional growing the rhizomes. So this is the beauty of this particularly the technique. So there is a tuber crop. So there is another technique. So that is the plastic culture bags are used for the producing the microtubers. So there is a various techniques are there, and among these the microtubes. So that means minimization of the cost has been done here, and the culture rooms used for the production of the microtubes, that is the plant preparation steps. So which is going to this year. So this is also one of the important crop which is giving the commercial importance, and as well as now. How to enhance the secondary metabolite? That is a pharmaceutical point of view, because the tissue culture, it is mostly used for this particular the development of secondary metabolites. So there are some of the abiotic elicitors are there, biotic elicitors are there, and these are the plant names. So we can able to develop the large number of the product with the help of this secondary metabolites. So this is the one of the area of the tissue culture technique, and this is some of the secondary metabolites which is developed through this. And here we have also standardized the media for the technique for the Raul Pia Serpentina. That is nothing but Sarpaganda. In Marathi, it is called as the Sarpaganda. And we have observed that if you go for the callus culture of this particularly, instead of going for the, because the reserpine, it is high in case of the roots. But if you go for the callus, through this collagenesis technique, then we observed that, so there is a, if you see here, that is the TLC technique, we observed that, so there are the somewhat the movement of this particular reserpine, it is observed. And if you see the calibration plot, so it is going into the same curve. So, and if you see here, so that is a higher, it is particularly in case of this particular callus, so it is nothing but 6.8 microgram per ml. But in case of the root extract, it is 6.4 microgram per ml. So this is one area. So we can go for this, and there is a no destruction method. So we cannot, because no need to harvest, uproot the plant and to take the particularly the roots, so that there is a that is a will not make endangered also. So this is another thing is that. So if you go for this, utilize this technique for this, then you can able to preserve the natural beauty also, as well as the natural wealth also. Then the semiclonal variation, it is also another important area of this. And here, through the semiclonal variations, we can able to develop the different means whatever say the available variety superior than the superior. So there are some of the mutations are occur, and these particular mutations, it is possible because of this particularly the in vitro environment. And this, if you provide this such type of the in vitro environment, so number of the factors are there. Not only the phytohormones, not only the explants, but not only the not only what will say the culture conditions, but there are some micro mutations are occur into this particular cells, and these particular variations we need to harvest it. So these are some of the examples which is given here. So and most of the success through these semiclonal variations, we have achieved that. We have developed, we are the first important, whatever see read into my biodata, that is the first variety in case of the finger millet we have developed through this technique, that is the semiclonal variation. So this is the some of the history of this. So we have gone through the callus, so that we have regenerated the lack of the plants from this like this, and we have developed, we have selected finally the plants which is having the good condition, good phenotype, as well as high iron and high calcium content. So these are the some of the achievements which is achieved through the semiclonal variation. So among these, another thing is that if you want to go for the tissue culture, that is genetic transformation. So these genetic transformation, it is a possible, and to detection of the genetic transformation, it is a possible through the tissue culture technique only, because it is a least expensive, as well as whatever the plants which is observed, they will be definitely having the PCR positive, even if they are the means real-time PCR positive, as well as the some of the southern blot technique positive. So this is the some of the technique. If you go put it into the media, so those plants which is the transgenic, so they will remain alive, and those plants which are the non-transgenic, they will be showing the such type of the dryness. So even not only the whole plant, but also the some of the tissues are also there. So like that, this is some of the technique which is developed through this. So same time in case of pigeon-pea also, we have standardized this technique. Then the synthetic seed, it is one of the another achievement of this, particularly the seeds, particularly which is having the good value. So specifically those which is in case of the cut flowers, we can able to develop this such type of the synthetic seeds. So we can encapsulate it into the somatic embryos, and wherever it is required, we can able to bring into the market. So these are some of the advantages, and the disadvantages are there. Then the bioenergy, it is also another area. So through the tissue culture, we can able to go for this particularly the Jatropha as well as the Pongamia. So there are the tissue culture technique. It has been well standardized for that, and we can able to develop the lack of the plants with the help of this technique. So this is the one of the best area, which is once you choose for the entrepreneurships. So that is the most important. Then the high micropropagation of the sugar cane. So whatever we see, that is the Vasanta Sugar Institute. They are the leading into this, and they have developed the micro propagated plantlets, particularly in case of the sugar cane, and lack of the plantlets are available nowadays. So nowadays the farmers are using this, and they are harvesting the more yield as compared to the conventional one. So there are the spindle lip roll segments. So specifically because it is some of the plantlets, whatever they are the very difficult to regenerate, but there is spindle lip roll segments. They are very good showing the regeneration ability. So this particular explant, if you select it, then you can go for this. So there are some of the number of the passages are there. So I will not go for the very detail. But the thing is that, so if you go for the conventionally, the total expenses it in there about the 13,000 for the 473, and but if you go for this particularly the tissue culture technique, it is coming to the 12,000. So that means near about 1,000 we are saving in case of the explants only, or the material only. So this is also another for starting material. If you go for the dollar, so it is 7.5, 7.59. If you go for the traditional one, that is 7.97. So this is the beauty of this technique. So another thing is that once you want to go for the commercial, and if you bring the if you want to bring into the whole laboratory into the form of the commercialization, then there is a low cost technique. It is the most important. Because whatever the chemicals are available, they are very costly. So we need to find out what are the alternatives for that. Because the mechanism we just, and for that the mechanism of this particularly the chemicals, as well as whatever the plants are there, that we need to study very thoroughly. So there is an alternative, the use of the alternative where the possible locally available equipments and the resources to reduce the unit cost of the tissue culture products without compromising the quality of the plants. Excuse me. So there are some of the chemicals, so which is more important, that is the hormones, they are most important, and the vitamins. Then the equipments which are the required, and the media structure or the structure, that is the media preparation, sorry, which is required for that. So these are the prime important, that is these points we need to consider it. So if you see here, interestingly, no need to go for the autoclave every time. If you use the cooker of the good quality, then your purpose will serve. So if you go for the one time, we can able to prepare the 3 or 4 liter media with the help of the cooker also. So like that. So there is a laminar wood, that is also important. So you can able to go for the low cost fabricated using the wood and the formica. So that is this is also possible. So that we can able to save the if you want to develop the your if you want to go for the startup. So that time such type of the facilities we need to develop. So the pipettes and all these things, they are very costly. But if you go for the syringe, so that is 1 or 2 rupees. The purpose will serve it. So there is a somewhat whatever the conventional vitamins are there. But nowadays, if you go for the vitamin B complex, then the pyridoxine and the nicotinamide. So these are the available in the market. So these are the some of the options which is available. If instead of the NA, you go for the anatone, which is find effective as the conventional NA. GA3, again, that is the Tivagit is also another product which is having the good for the regeneration or the elongation, and the BAP, instead of that you go for the planktone, which is found effective in the case of the shoot induction. So these are the some of the conventional salts. Then easy grow fertilizers and the stains, they are also available. So the number of the industries are coming into this. Then the growth chamber, no need to go every time with this all the very electrically and very sophisticated, but you can go for the naturally harvesting light. If you go for the natural harvesting light, you can able to go for this. So these are some of the racks, and even if we go for this and such type of structures are available. So that is, we can see it is ITK. Indigenous techniques are available nowadays. So these are the low cost propagation of the plum. So this is also happening. So these are some of the chemicals. If you see the cost here, that is conventional micronutrients. If you see the cost for the 1 kg, it is 1800. But if you go for this particularly the option that is substitute micronutrients, it is only 105 rupees per kg. So that means the saving percent of the saving cost, it is near about the 94%. So like that number of the salts and all these things, the micronutrients are available. So if you see the cost of this, so these are the 97% in case of this particularly the conventional micro as compared to the conventional micronutrients. So there are some of the vitamins. If you go for this, if you see, there is more than the 90% saving we can able to do. So such type of just there is a hormones. If you go for this, it is some of the conventional growth regulators. So it is near about the 6,000. But if you go for the substitute for the growth regulator, so it is the 150. So there are so if you see the total cost, it is a 93.1% saving we can able to do it. So like that in case of the sucrose and all these things. So if you see here, the good quality of the sucrose, it is near about the 400 rupees. But if you go for the sucrose, that is a table sugar, it is only 80 rupees. So we can able to save it is 80% cost. So like that, the gelride, agar, phytagel, and all these things we can able to solve it. So these are some of the accredited test laboratories in India, particularly CPRI, Shimla, then the IISR, then the GKVK Bangalore, that is then the VSI. These are the accredited laboratories which is for the tissue culture are available. So this is all about the if we want to go for the commercialization. So there should the message I want to pass is that so we have to develop whatever the protocols are there. It should be very cost effective, as well as whatever the chemicals which are going to use, they should be also cost effective. Then and then only we can develop the successful entrepreneurship in case of the tissue culture technique. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your excellent presentation, sir. And thank you, sir, for giving your valuable insights on commercialization of tissue culture techniques in economically important crops. Sir has given more, he has explained in detail about the totipotency and plasticity, cellular, molecular, and physiological aspects in vitro plant regeneration. Sir has also explained about the concept of the thin cell layer technique, application of TCL technique. He has also shown that he has conducted several experiments on the commercially important crops like a kokum, mango, bamboo, then a futam. Then he has also worked on the different crops like a Indian wild teak, sandalwood, as well as very important medicinal plant, that is a Serpaganda rauwolfia serpentina. Sir has also explained about the somaconal variation and their application in horticulture crops, as well as in last but very, very important, that low cost inputs about the plant tissue culture laboratory. It is very, very important because whenever people are thinking about the plant tissue culture entrepreneurship, always they are getting scared because initial expenditure is very high, especially in when youth is entered in the sector of the plant tissue culture techniques. Then always it is taught that it is always that when you start the plant tissue culture entrepreneurship, it requires the very important and it requires a very high amount of money to establish the sophisticated laboratory as well as to start the entrepreneurship. And it is very, very, very helpful for the new generation, as well as the it is very whatever today we learn from you. And it is very, I am very happy to say that I am a student of Dr. Savadekar sir. We have learned one important course in MSc, MSc, that is principles of biotechnology in plants. And thank you once again, sir. And now this topic is open for discussion. Any questions?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Any questions?
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, sir, thank you for your very knowledgeable these presentations. I'm very valuable in this fruitful session, sir. So, but I have one question related to this plant tissue culture, because nowadays cell culture that has proved some somaclonal as well as the gametoclonal variations for the crop improvement. But sir, there is very selective laboratories now is working for the commercialize. So is there is another problems or the only these are cost related problems? Why they are not?
So why it is a limited one? Once you know that is accreditation, you will see the word accreditation. So whenever the word accreditation is come, so that time there is need to go for the different procedures. And the entrepreneurs who are interested only into the selling the material, they are not bothering about all these things. No doubt the quality is the most important, but because of some of the hurdles in the going for the procedure, the people are only going for this no accreditation, because only the limited laboratories are there which is get accredited. The important thing is that the institute which is having the very good infrastructure, that only get accredited. Even our institute, we are trying for the last 5 years, but still we are into the position where supplying the paper one by one, but still into the process. And because of the hectic process, the people are not going for this. The thing is that, no doubt, it is not correct. But the thing is that if you think into the farmer's point of view, what farmers require, they require the quality pantry material. I know as an institute, I am responsible for this. You can go for the fidelity testing. You can go for the virus indexing. And these are the two very good options are there. So the people are less means they are going to, they have the somewhat the inferior complex to go for this such type of this accreditation test. So that's why only the limited laboratories are there.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
I think
sir,
one
I
more
have also
question.
important question.
I think Ira Pandey, they have asked one question. That is, sir, which is the best cheaper alternative for solidifying agent, except the construct which is not affect the media composition? So that is whatever scene I have shown you into the last slide. That is the phytogel. It is also very good, which is having the good option for that. Then another question is that can a private lab start virus indexing for the other tissue culture labs? If yes, how and where to apply for the same? That is yes, the private lab also you can going to start the virus indexing, no doubt. But the only thing is that is a validation. So there are, in case of this particular in Maharashtra, there is a somewhat what we'll say, that is our commissioner of agriculture. They are having the authority. They are giving the permission for this. So once you approach with your documents, they can give the permission to you and you can able to start the virus indexing.
Last question.
I think Shavi Tiwari.
Yes, sir. So I want to ask that have you developed any latest protocol for producing hybrid wheat, because it's emerging area for producing hybrid wheat? So
no doubt, not the hybrid wheat, but we are going for the hybrid rice, because wheat is not our crop. So that is this area, it is going for the particularly for the rice only. So we are working on the rice, and with the help of the tissue culture technique, particularly for this anther culture technique. So we have standardized the protocol of that anther culture, and the variation, whatever they observed, that variable variation. So that is into the field test nowadays. So once we will get the result of the field, then we can go for the commercialization. But if you go for the literature of this particularly, the China is leading for that, because most of the hybrids they have developed through the anther culture only. And these anther cultures, they are showing the yield near about 7 to 8 tons per hectare. So yield of the China, it is very high because of this only, because they are. And another thing is that whatever the grain type is there, that is a bold type. So the bold type grains, it is they prefer very well. But as far as the Indian subcontinent is concerned, so we are interested into the small size grain as well as the very that is somewhat the essence rice, particularly basmati type. So that is fine grain varieties we are preferring. So this is somewhat there are some limitations into that, no doubt.
right, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, I have also one question.
Yeah.
Sir, if we see at the farmer level in Maharashtra, also Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, then always we see that farmers, they are getting only the tissue culture saplings or seedlings of the sugarcane and banana. When the farmers will get the tissue culture seedlings of the mango also, horticulture, another horticulture crops also. And why still there is no that much awareness in the plant tissue culture center also, as well as in a farmer regarding the another crops?
You have really pointed out this very good question. Actually, the thing is that whenever you are going for the tissue culture technique, so we know that is a recalcitrant. This is a very it's common word. That recalcitrant means there are some woody plants are there, and there are a lot of the phenolic leaches. And these phenolic leaches, they are bringing the gap between the media as well as the explant. So such type of the gap is there. And once there is a leaching is there, so that we need to minimize it. No doubt, if you see in case of the pomegranate, we have got the little success. But in case of this particular the mango, there is a, if you cut the stem of the mango, so they are grown into the external environment, and we bring it from the external environment to the internal environment. So there is a lot of the process are occurring, and within that particular process, so we need to give the lot of the treatments, and these treatments, they are not only killing the bacteria, but at the same time they are killing the active dividing cells of this particularly tissues, and it will affect on the regeneration. So because the heavy treatment is required for this, and unless and until you are not giving the heavy treatment, will not maintain the aseptic cultures. So these are some of the limitations are there. And in case of this particularly, if you give the example, just like a teak, this is also woody plant. So we got the success in that. But at the same time, we are also trying in the mango, and hope that the Jain irrigation, they have not published the protocol, but they are saying that we are developing the protocol. So once the protocol is standardized and it is get available, no doubt the farmers are eager to purchase the tissue culture plantlets, but the availability is a problem. But as an institute, we are going to give the solution for this with the immediate effect.
Thank you, sir. I hope in future you will tackle this technical problem, and sure we will get the tissue culture seedling of the mango also and other horticulture crops from the plant tissue culture technique from the Dr. B.S.K. Dapoli.
Well, the same thing is expected of the young researchers. You have to carry forward the research.
Definitely, sir.
If you have the lacunas, you have to research and find and just remove those obstacles. So, Dr. Savardeshkar, thank you very much for your lecture, and I hope the faculty will draw inspiration from the work you have done and that you are continuing to doing. It has a potential for entrepreneurship. Agri entrepreneurship, this tissue culture has a potential, and our faculty will take up the research, the further research. Wherever there is a scope, they will find the scope by working on such problems and develop protocols. So thank you very much, Savardeshkar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and interacting with you people. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
sir.
Yeah, shall I leave? Shall I
So
leave?
now we have the second lecture. If you have the time, you can continue. Otherwise, you can leave, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Now I'm leaving.
Okay. Good day, sir.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. Now we'll move towards the next lecture. Now I would like to invite our second resource person, Mr. Shivaji Supai, sir, Director, Bharat Private Limited, Latur, Maharashtra. I welcome Mr. Shivaji Supai, sir, on the behalf of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, Indore. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Sir, I joined. Shivaji, sir?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Actually, I have joined link sent by Waluskar, sir. So you just consider that my link is from Waluskar, sir. Hello?
Yes. Now his name is visible. Okay. Carry on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
actually, so I just showing you my nursery. First of all, I wanted to show my nursery. Then after I'll continue my session.
Sir,
So,
excuse me, sir.
yeah.
Sir, within 2 minutes, I will read your brief
Yeah,
citation,
please.
sir.
Okay.
Then you start, sir. Then you start, sir.
Yes.
Now it will be very honor for me to read the short biography of Mr. Shivaji Supare, sir. Shivaji Supare, sir, he has completed his MSc in biotechnology in 2012. Then presently he has worked. He has several experience about as a technician at a Vasant Plant Tissue Culture Laboratory, Naigaon. He has also worked as a plant tissue culture lab in charge at the Department of Biotechnology, Rajasri Shahu Mahavidyalaya. Then he has also participated and got first prize in Avishkar 2012 and 13, 7th Maharashtra State Inter-University Research Convention held during 7th and 9th January 2013. Then he has also participated in the poster presentation of National Science Day celebration at CSRI National Chemical Laboratory, Pune. And he has also attended the fire safety seminar and workshop in National Chemical Laboratory. Now, presently, sir is working as a director at a Varat Private Limited, Latur, Maharashtra. Now, I request sir to take over.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for my introduction. So first of all, I'll tell you that I prefer my language as a Hindi because I will speak in fluent, so it will make a good. So मेरा नाम है शिवाजी सुपारे। जैसे कि अभी सर ने मुझे इंट्रोड्यूस किया है, मैं अभी भारत बायोटेक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी चलाता हूँ, जो अभी मैं उसका मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर हूँ। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं मेरा एक वर्क इंट्रोड्यूस करता हूँ। जैसे कि अभी मेरे पास मैं नर्सरी में ही हमारे यहाँ पे हूँ, तो ये रहा हमारा नर्सरी। ये नर्सरी हमारा पुणे में है, या उर्ली कांचन एरिया में। ये पॉलीहाउस रहा, ये शेड नेट है हमारा। ये अप्रोक्सीमेट 12 एकड़ है हमारा। अभी इधर ये जो रेड सॉइल है, इसके बाजू में नया हम एस्टेब्लिश कर रहे हैं, और ये हम पॉलीहाउस में जाएंगे। ये 2 मिनट में मैं ये बता के बाकी का स्टार्ट करूंगा। ये इंडोर प्लांट्स हम यहाँ पे तैयार करते हैं। ये रहा फाइकस बरगुंडी इलास्टिका, ये कुछ मनी प्लांट है। ये कमर्शियल यूनिट है हमारा, जहाँ पे हम सब इंडोर और आउटडोर प्लांट्स बनाते हैं। हाँ, तो अभी मैं यहाँ से स्टार्ट करूँगा मेरा। एक्चुअली मैं एक बायोटेक्नोलॉजिस्ट होने के नाते मैं अपना स्टडी जो है मोस्ट पॉपुलर कॉलेज में, जो शाहू कॉलेज बोल के लातूर में है महाराष्ट्र में, उसमें किया। और उसके बाद मैं नेशनल केमिकल लेबोरेटरी में मेरा टिश्यू कल्चर का एक ट्रेनिंग कोर्स ज्वाइन करने के लिए मैं वहाँ पे ज्वाइन हुआ था। उसके बाद डॉक्टर CK जॉन एंड डॉक्टर BM खान सर ने मुझे वहाँ से आने नहीं दिया था क्योंकि मेरा काम उनको अच्छा लगा था। तो उसके बाद सर ने मुझे बता दिया कि अभी आप एकेडमिक प्रोफाइल में ज़्यादा मत अटक जाओ, तो आपका कुछ कमर्शियल नॉलेज भी है और उसका वैसा आपका मतलब एटीट्यूड भी है, तो आप वो स्टार्ट करिए, ऐसा उन्होंने बताया था। तो उस हिसाब से मैंने हमारा चालू किया है। और मैं जब था MSc पास आउट होने के बाद मैं एक वसंत टिश्यू कल्चर लेबोरेटरी बोल के एक हमारा लोकल टिश्यू कल्चर लेबोरेटरी थी, उसमें कमर्शियल प्रोडक्शन का प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए मैं गया था। और उसके बाद फिर से मैं शाहू कॉलेज में एज ए सीनियर लेक्चरर बोल के मैं वहाँ पे अपॉइंटेड था 5 साल तक के लिए। उसके बाद मैं भारत बायोटेक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड का प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी का स्थापन किया, और हमारे पार्टनर है अनिल भारत जी, जिन्होंने इस प्रोजेक्ट को फंडिंग किया। इस वजह से हम उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नाम भारत नाम से रखा है। अभी भी हम दोनों पार्टनर है। और जैसे मैं अभी आपको बताया, उस तरह के हमारे 6 नर्सरीज है, और ये सब नर्सरीज हम मिला के चलाते हैं। और हमारे दोस्त है राहुल जी, जो अभी ये है, तो ये भी हमको सहायता करते हैं। मतलब बताने का ये है कि हम मिलके काम करते हैं और बहुत सारे यूनिट्स बनाया है। और अभी तो सिनेरियो ऐसा है कि महाराष्ट्र में जो जितने भी रजिस्टर्ड नर्सरी मेंस है, उनमें से 3500 लोगों में से हमारा 24th नंबर आया है। और उसका रैंकिंग कुछ अलग तरीके से होता है, जो टर्नओवर के हिसाब से और जितने नंबर ऑफ वैरायटीज मेंटेन करते हैं उस हिसाब से। तो हमने अभी ये जो है स्टार्ट किया है भारत बायोटेक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड 2018 में। जैसे कि मैं स्टूडेंट था शाहू कॉलेज में, उस समय मेरा ड्रीम था कि मेरा एक खुद का एक कंपनी होना चाहिए और खुद का बिजनेस होना चाहिए। उस तरीके से मैंने एफर्ट्स भी लिया है। तो अभी मेरा कंपनी भी है और बहुत सारे यूनिट्स भी है मेरे पास। नियर अबाउट 127 लोग काम करते हैं। अप्रोक्सीमेट 10 लाख रुपीज़ हमारा पर मंथ उनका सैलरी होता है। और हमारा टिश्यू कल्चर लेबोरेटरी है जो कमर्शियल प्रोडक्शन करता है। इसमें हमने सबसे ज़्यादा जो प्रोडक्शन किया है ये फाइकस इलास्टिका जो है, इसका ही सबसे ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन किया है। एक समय था जो फर्स्ट वेव थी कोविड की, उस समय हॉलैंड से जो आने वाला ये फाइकस इलास्टिका, जिसको रबर बोलते हैं, ऑर्नामेंटल रबर, ये इंपोर्ट जो है था वो बंद हुआ था। तो उस समय हमने हमारा खुद का एक प्रोटोकॉल डेवलप किया, और बहुत सारे लेबोरेटरीज जो काम करते हैं रेपुटेड, उन लोगों ने इस पे काम करके देखा था, लेकिन उनको शायद प्रोटोकॉल ऑप्टिमाइज नहीं हुआ होगा। तो उसके बाद हमने उस फाइकस इलास्टिका को पकड़ के नियर अबाउट 28 लाख रबर प्लांट हम एक साल में प्रोड्यूस किए थे, और पूरे इंडिया को हमने सप्लाई किया। उस सिलसिले में हमको हमारे नर्सरी मेंस एसोसिएशन में बहुत सारे लोगों ने हमें पहचानत भी दी है, और हम इंट्रोड्यूस हुए। आज मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि एक हॉर्टी प्रो नाम का इंटरनेशनल लेवल का एग्जीबिशन है पुणे में। उसी सिलसिले में मैं पुणे में आया था। तो हमारे यहाँ पे 2 यूनिट्स है, वो दो यूनिट के हम यहाँ से वहाँ पर प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं। वहाँ पे एक हमारा स्टॉल है, और वो स्टॉल जो है यहाँ की सबसे बड़ी नर्सरी बालाजी नर्सरी है, उसके सामने ही हमको स्टॉल मिला है, क्योंकि हमारा उतना एलिजिबिलिटी हुई हुआ है। तो बताने का ये है कि मुझे हमने जो भी किया है मिलके
एक्सक्यूज मी
किया
सर.
है। या
हाँ सर, माफ करा, थोड़ा तुमचा आवाज क्लियर येत नाहीये सर. प्लीज थोडासा आप
क्लियर येत
माइक
नाही ना?
नजदीक लीजिएगा.
अच्छा, क्लियर म्हणजे काय होतं सर? सॉरी, हेडफोन काढून बोलू का सर? हेलो.
ठीक है, बोलिए आप, बोलिए आप, ठीक
हाँ.
है, आ रही है आवाज।
हाँ सर, या तो अभी जो स्टॉल्स हमने प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे हमारे 260 टाइप ऑफ प्लांट्स है। और इसमें हमने जो अभी प्रेजेंट किया है फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट है हमारा। और कुछ गिने चुने जो बड़े बड़े ये नर्सरी के स्टॉल्स है उनके सामने हमारा है। और अभी जो बता रहा होता मैं कि मैं मेरा जो स्टार्ट किया था, मैं एक फार्मर के फैमिली से बिलोंग करता हूँ। मेरे पिताजी 16 एकड़ का लैंड हैंडल करते हैं। वो जो फार्मर है कन्वेंशनल फार्मिंग करते थे, उनको भी एक अच्छी तरीके से काम करने के वजूद उनको गवर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र ने वो एक उद्यान पंडित नाम का पुरस्कार दिया है। और हम जो है सबसे ज़्यादा एक बड़ी बात है कि हम ज़्यादा मेहनत करते हैं। जो भी करते हैं वो दिल लगा के करते हैं और खुद ग्राउंड रियलिटी पे काम करते हैं। अभी ये जो प्रेजेंटेशन था, मुझे लगा था कि मैं किसी एक स्टूडियो में या तो मेरे ऑफिस में बैठ के मैं दे दूं, क्योंकि वो जरूरी भी था। एक्चुअली वो हो नहीं पाया क्योंकि मैं अभी यहाँ पे था, तो यहीं से मैं स्टार्ट किया। और मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि जो करते हैं हम दिल से करते हैं और बहुत ही मन लगा के करते हैं, और उसी में हमको बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा एक सफलता मिलती है। अभी हम स्टार्ट करते हैं मेरा बैकग्राउंड। मैं जो शाहू कॉलेज में था, उस समय मैंने एक टिश्यू कल्चर लेबोरेटरी रन किया था। उस समय कुछ नियर अबाउट 100 स्टूडेंट्स को मैंने ट्रेंड किया था। और उसके बाद मैं जब भारत बायोटेक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड स्टार्ट किया, उसकी ऐसी स्टोरी है कि मैंने शाहू कॉलेज में एक गार्डन बनाया था। वो गार्डन में जो माली था काम करने वाला, वो कॉमन माली था, तो जो भारत साहब के फार्म हाउस पे काम करता था, उन्होंने जाके बता दिया कि वो सुपारी साहब से आप गार्डन बना लो, बहुत ही बढ़िया हो जाएगा। तो उन्होंने खुद आके देखा है हमारा गार्डन शाहू कॉलेज का। उसके बाद हमारा इंट्रोडक्शन हो गया और बाद में हमारी फ्रेंडशिप हो गई और हम उसका कन्वर्शन बिजनेस पार्टनरशिप में कर दिए। तो राइट नाउ हमारा जो एक वॉल्यूम हम बताना चाहते हैं कि नियर अबाउट 11 CR का हमारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप हुआ है। और ये सब 4 ईयर में हमने किया है। लास्ट ईयर का ऑलमोस्ट 5 CR का हमारा ये ऑडिटेड ये है बैलेंस शीट है। और हम हमेशा दर साल मतलब हर साल हम मिनिमम 5 एकड़ का पॉली हाउस और शेड नेट बना के हमारा एक्सपेंशन कर रहे हैं। और वैरायटी के बारे में बताएंगे तो हम ऑलमोस्ट हर साल 100 वैरायटीज इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे थे। अभी इस साल हमने एकदम 500 एक्स्ट्रा वैरायटी हमने और भी इंट्रोड्यूस किया है। इसमें हम जो टिश्यू कल्चर है उसमें स्टार्टिंग किया था। टिश्यू कल्चर लेबोरेटरी में हम सिर्फ 4 लैमिनार से स्टार्ट किया था। तो अभी भी 4 ही है, लेकिन हमारा जो पोटेंशियल है वो हम 16 आवर्स हमारा लेबोरेटरी रन करते हैं और उसमें 42 लोग काम करते हैं उस यूनिट में। उसमें हमारा जो प्रोडक्शन है, एवरेज जो प्रोडक्शन रहता है एक लैमिनार का पर ईयर का 2 लाख पर लैमिनार प्रोडक्शन होता है। लेकिन हमारा जो है 28 लाख प्रोडक्शन पर ईयर फॉर 4 लैमिनार, ऐसा हमने एक विक्रम किया है। क्योंकि एक मैनेजमेंट भी होता है और उसमें जो लॉसेस है कंटेमिनेशन का, वो हमने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से हैंडल किया है। अभी बहुत कम वो कंटेमिनेशन हमको मिलता है। तो मिनिमम लॉसेस के और मैक्सिमम प्रोडक्टिविटी के हिसाब से हम करते हैं। मैं जो भी करता हूँ वो अपना दिल लगा के करता हूँ, और उसमें मेरे लेवल पे मेरा जो प्रॉब्लम है वो मैं सॉल्व करने का हमेशा ट्राई करता हूँ। जैसे कि रबर जो था, रबर प्लांट का प्रोडक्शन, उसमें हमको बहुत ज़्यादा डिमांड आ रही थी और वो प्रेशर हम सह नहीं पा रहे थे। तो रबर का प्रोडक्शन करते समय मुझे लगा कि क्यों ना हम एक प्लांट इसी पॉलीहाउस में, सॉरी नर्सरी टिश्यू कल्चर लेबोरेटरी में, हम जितना भी हमारा जो रिक्वायरमेंट आ रहा है लोगों की तरफ से वो पूरा क्यों नहीं कर सकते। इसके ऊपर मैंने सोच लिया और मैंने कुछ टेक्निक्स डेवलप की उसमें, जो कि एक प्लांट बनता है, उसी प्लांट का ऊपर का जो हिस्सा है अपाइकल होता है, उसको ही हम कट करके फिर से लगा रहे थे। एक्चुअली जो है नॉर्मली प्रैक्टिस कैसे है कि जो बेस पे मल्टीपल प्लांट्स जनरेट होते हैं, उसी प्लांट को हम कट करके मल्टीपल प्लांट बनाते हैं। हमने तो मल्टीप्लिकेशन उसी तरीके से भी किया, और फिर से हमने जो बाहर निकाल के हार्डनिंग के लिए रखा था, उसी प्लांट को फिर से अंदर लेबोरेटरी में लेके उसको डबल कटिंग किया। तो उसमें हमारा जो प्रोडक्शन था वो 4 टाइम बढ़ गया, और उसी को और फिर से हमने ऑप्टिमाइज किया। तो बाद में पता चला कि लाइट जब हम ज़्यादा देते हैं तो फास्ट ग्रो होता है, और फास्ट ग्रो होने के बाद थोड़ा सा उसका स्टेम लेंथ ज़्यादा होता है। स्टेम लेंथ ज़्यादा होने के बाद हम एक प्लांट से मिनिमम 6 to 7 प्लांट्स हम जनरेट कर रहे थे, और एक बॉटल में हमारा नियर अबाउट 80 to 85 प्लांट्स थे। तो 400 पौधे एक बॉटल में हम करने का विक्रम किया है, इसीलिए हमारा 28 लाख प्लांट प्रोडक्शन हो चुका है। और कुछ बातें एक्सीडेंटली भी हमको मिलती है, जैसे कि एक बार कंटेमिनेशन आए वाले बॉटल्स हम उसको प्रॉपर तरीके से उसका ये कर नहीं पाए, उसको बाजू में कर नहीं पाए, तो उसको पेंडिंग में रखा गया था। वो जो रखे थे तो पॉलीहाउस में रखे थे, हमारी जो बाजू में पॉलीहाउस है लेबोरेटरी के, तो पॉलीहाउस में उसको एक ऑप्टिमम लाइट मिलता है। जैसे कि अभी लेबोरेटरी में हम 22 to 2500 लक्स लाइट हम प्रोवाइड करते हैं, तो बाहर एकदम 8000 लक्स लाइट उसको मिला था। तो उसके वजह से वो बहुत ज़्यादा ग्रो होने लगा, और हमको पता चला कि इससे ज़्यादा ग्रो होता है, तो हमने मैक्सिमम लाइट देने के लिए अंदर भी जहाँ पे एयर कंडीशन होता है ग्रोथ रूम में, वहाँ पे भी लाइट दिया, और बाहर भी हम लाइट में ज़्यादा दिन रखते थे। तो उस वजह से जो हार्डनिंग का प्रॉब्लम रहता है, हार्डनिंग मतलब जो एयर कंडीशन में रहते हैं प्लांट, उसको पॉलीहाउस में लेके जाने के बाद वहाँ पे तो एयर कंडीशन नहीं होता है, सिर्फ ह्यूमिडिटी वगैरह मेंटेन कर सकते हैं वो फैन पैड सिस्टम की क्लाइमेट कंट्रोल पॉलीहाउस के अंदर, लेकिन वो उतना अप्रोप्रिएट नहीं होता है जैसे बॉटल में होता है। तो उसको अचानक टेम्परेचर शॉक बैठता है या तो ह्यूमिडिटी शॉक होता है, तो वो होने का जो है लॉसेस, हम वो उसको अवॉइड करने के लिए हमने वो बॉटल में ही धूप में हमने उसको रख दिया है कुछ दिन के लिए, तो उसका 99.99% सर्वाइवल रेट मिला है। जैसे कि अभी तक उतना ज़्यादा किसी को नहीं मिलता है। हमारे जो क्लाइंट्स है ग्रीन लाइफ बायो प्लांट बोल के है, ग्रीन लीफ बोल के है, और संजय नर्सरी है, तुकाई नर्सरी है, बहुत सारे प्लांट लेने वाले लोग हैं हमारे। तो वो बोलते हैं कि आपके जैसे प्लांट आते ही नहीं किसी की ओर से। हम जो एक्स अगर प्लांट बेचते हैं, तो ये जो काम है हम वो प्रैक्टिकली ग्राउंड लेवल पे काम करने की वजह से हमको पता चलता है। जो भी चीज़ होती है वो बाय डॉक्यूमेंट या रिसर्च एक अलग तरीका है, अलग चीज़ है, और जो ग्राउंड रियलिटी पे जो काम करते हैं उसमें बहुत सारा फाइंड आउट होता है। तो उस लेवल पे हम काम करके हम ये जो है डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं। और एक बात है कि जब स्टार्ट किए था हमने ये टिश्यू कल्चर लेबोरेटरी का दोनों मिला के, तो उसके बाद हमको जो हार्डन करने के लिए प्लांट के लिए एक पॉलीहाउस चाहिए था। तो लातूर में कभी किसी ने पॉलीहाउस छोटे लेवल पे नहीं बनाया था, जो स्कीम्स के हिसाब पे एक एक एकड़ का बनाया था। हमारा तो बजट कम था और हमारा स्पेस भी कम था। हमने क्या किया कि वो जो लोकल फैब्रिकेटर होते हैं उनकी तरफ से बनाने का सोचे। उसके बाद जो ऊपर पॉली हाउस का पॉलीथीन लगाते हैं, उसमें एक टेक्निक होती है, उसका एक लॉकिंग स्प्रिंग और एक प्रोफाइल होता है, तो वो फंसाने का किसी लोकल फैब्रिकेटर को पता नहीं था। तो मैंने पूना में जाके बहुत सारे पॉली हाउस देखे, और जो प्रोवाइड करने वाले मटेरियल एजेंसीज है उनको भी जाके मिलके खुद ऊपर जाके उन लोगों को डेमो बता के नियर अबाउट हाँ, तो नियर अबाउट हमारा जो है ये खर्चा 90% हमका हमारा सेविंग हुआ था। तो उस हिसाब से हमने जो देखा, तो उसमें हमको एक पॉसिबिलिटी दे लगी कि हम भी ये बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं। तो अभी हम जो है मैक्सिमम हमारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर खुद ही बनाते हैं। एक्चुअली ये करना इतना बराबर है ये नहीं, पता नहीं, लेकिन हम हमारा जो पॉली हाउस है वो उतना हम बनाते हैं। हम उसके मतलब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के जो भी काम होते हैं पूरे हम बनाते हैं। और अभी ये पूरा महाराष्ट्र में जो एक स्कीम है पोखरा नाम की, नानाजी देशमुख कृषि संजीवनी योजना, उसमें भी हम फार्मर्स को शेड नेट प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं। इस स्कीम में जो भी सब्सिडी आता है उसके ऊपर एक 10 to 20% हम चार्ज करते हैं उसके, और उनकी तरफ उतना ज़्यादा अमाउंट नहीं होता है, तो हम खुद बेयर करते हैं, और सब्सिडी मिलने के बाद हम उसको उनको वो लेते हैं और हम उनको शेड नेट प्रोवाइड करते हैं। तो अभी तक हमने उसमें ऑलमोस्ट 15 नंबर ऑफ शेड नेट्स हमने फार्मर्स को प्रोवाइड की है। उसके बाद हमारा जो यूनिट्स जो बढ़ाए हमने, तो हमको वो ग्राहक जो मिलते गए उस हिसाब से हमने उस नीड को पकड़ के डिफरेंट एरियाज में हमने हमारा नर्सरी इंट्रोड्यूस किया है। एक्चुअली जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे नर्सरीज आते हैं मराठवाड़ा रीजन में महाराष्ट्र के, वो छोटे छोटे नर्सरीज होते हैं जिनके पास पौधे बहुत सारे होते हैं वैरायटीज, लेकिन एक 10 12 25 पौधे रखते हैं, तो उसमें अट्रैक्टिव लुक नहीं आता है। हम जो भी करते हैं एक एक वैरायटी का ऑलमोस्ट 10,000 20,000 प्लांट्स बना के वहाँ पे रख देते हैं। उससे एक कंपाउंडिंग इफेक्ट आता है। जैसे हम फिल्म इंडस्ट्री का गार्डन वगैरह देखते हैं उस तरह का एक लुक आता है। जब आता है कोई कस्टमर आता है या कोई 5 मिनट बिताने के लिए आता है तो वो हमारा कस्टमर बन जाता है। इस तरीके से हमको अभी तक ऑलमोस्ट एक 2 लाख कस्टमर मिले हैं। जैसे कि बिल बुक जो होता है उस हिसाब से हमने बताया कि इतने हमारे बिल कटे हुए हैं। तो इतना बेस पकड़ के इसके हिसाब से हमने अभी लैंडस्केपिंग का काम 2 साल से स्टार्ट किया है। उसमें भी हम लीडिंग कर रहे हैं। हमारे होम गार्डन के बहुत सारे काम हो चुके हैं, और इंस्टीट्यूशनल गार्डन जो होते हैं लैंडस्केपिंग के उसके भी काम कर चुके हैं। उसमें सीमेंट का यूज करके, सीमेंट और वो रेत का यूज करके जो म्यूरल वर्क करते हैं उसमें भी हमने स्टार्ट किया है, और कलर कॉम्बिनेशन का भी काम करते हैं। मतलब हमने अभी तक ऐसा ट्राई किया है कि वन स्टॉप सॉल्यूशन कैसे दिया जाए कस्टमर को, उस हिसाब से हमने अभी तक जो काम किया है। और नियर अबाउट अभी तक हमने एक 60 या 62 नंबर ऑफ बड़े गार्डन्स हमने बना के दिए हैं। और जो रोड में जो डिवाइडर में जो पौधे लगते हैं वो भी कमर्शियल पौधे हम बनाते हैं, वो भी हम प्रोवाइड करते हैं। तो ऑलमोस्ट ये जो हमारा जर्नी रहा है, हमने एक स्ट्रगल करते हुए एक के बाद एक हमने यूनिट्स बनाए हैं। और उसमें हम दोनों मिला के प्लानिंग करते हैं। बहुत बार हम प्लानिंग कर रहे और वो फेल भी गए थे, उसका ग्राउंड रियलिटी भी है ऐसा। और वो सब कुछ चीज़ें हम देखते देखते थोड़ा सा हमारा तजुर्बा बढ़ गया है। हाँ, तो उस हिसाब से हमने ये सब जर्नी किया है। अभी हमारा जो रिसर्च ओरिएंटेड काम है, जैसे कि एक वैरायटी होती है, उसका लीफ होता है ग्रीन कलर का, तो उसको हम म्यूटेशन से उसका कलर अपीयरेंस बदल देते हैं, और वो वैरायटी एक यूनिक वैरायटी होके हमारा मार्केट में आता है। और उसमें ये ऑर्नामेंटल होने की वजह से कुछ नया निकल के आता है, तो उसको डिमांड ज़्यादा होता है। और इसमें ये एक अच्छी बात है कि जब फार्मर बेस्ड प्रोडक्शन करते हैं तो उसमें कुछ म्यूटेशन करने के लिए हम अगर करेंगे तो उसके ऊपर एक कुछ कंट्रोल एजेंसीज है, और कुछ वो भी है, वो एक्रेडिटेशन लेने के बाद जो अभी सारडेकर सर ने जो बताए थे वो भी करना पड़ता है। लेकिन इसमें उतना कुछ ज़्यादा स्ट्रगल नहीं होता है। यहाँ पे हम कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि कलर अपीयरेंस बढ़ाना है, किसको डॉर्फ करना है, किसको टॉल बनाना है, इसके ऊपर हम कुछ ट्रीटमेंट्स करके काम कर सकते हैं। तो ये रहा हमारा एक ओवरऑल बिजनेस के बारे में हमने जो भी डेवलपमेंट किया है उसके बारे में। और दूसरी चीज़ ये है कि जब हम स्टूडेंट्स को पढ़ाते हैं, जैसे कि अभी डॉक्टर वालुस्कर सर जो है उनके कुछ प्रीवियस कॉलेज वाले जो स्टूडेंट्स थे उनको लेके हमारे तरफ इंटर्नशिप ट्रेनिंग के लिए आए थे। उनको भी हम बहुत अच्छी तरीके से ट्रेनिंग कोर्स अटेंड मतलब देते हैं, ट्रेनिंग देते हैं। उसमें मेरा एक 2 आवर्स का 2 दिन का लेक्चर भी होता है, और उसमें बहुत सारे लड़कों को एक इंस्पिरेशन मिलता है। जो भी हमारा एक प्रैक्टिकल लेवल पे सब दिखाया जाता है, और जो चीज़ें है लेबोरेटरी में बनती है उसका कनेक्शन ग्राउंड रियलिटी पे भी मिलता है हमको। हाँ, हम देते हैं उनको, तो एक पिक्चर क्लियरिटी मिलती है। जैसे कि टिश्यू कल्चर में जब शाहू कॉलेज में और नेशनल केमिकल लेबोरेटरी में पढ़ता था, तो उस समय बहुत अच्छी इंफॉर्मेशन तो मिली थी मुझे, लेकिन जो फील्ड नॉलेज रहता है वहाँ पे एक लिमिटेशन आता था। तो वो लिमिटेशन यहाँ पे हम लड़कों को नहीं रखते हैं, ये स्टूडेंट्स को। उनको पहले तो फील्ड नॉलेज से ही फिर लेबोरेटरी में लेते हैं, उसके बाद रिसर्च की ओर हम उसको उनको प्रवृत्त करते हैं। तो ये सब सब हमारा हमारा जो है स्केल अप करने के बारे में और स्टूडेंट्स को कुछ सर्विस देने के बारे में, फार्मर्स को सर्विस देने के बारे में, हम खुद डेवलप होने के बारे में, और कुछ समाज को जो है सोसाइटी को हम कुछ नया नया दे सकते हैं, और उसके बाद एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी बहुत ज़्यादा जनरेट कर सकते हैं। ये सब कुछ हमारा एक ओवरऑल ये है, एक समराइज प्रेजेंटेशन है। और इसके बाद मैं एक बात बताना चाहता हूँ, और थोड़ी सी रिक्वेस्ट भी है मेरी, कि जो भी अभी मैं तो देखिए, मैं अभी और थोड़ा पीछे जाके बता देता हूँ कि मैं स्टूडेंट भी रहा हूँ, मैं पढ़ाया भी हूँ, और अभी प्रैक्टिकल वर्क भी करता हूँ, और मार्केट को भी फेस करता हूँ। तो इस लेवल का जो नॉलेज है, कि कुछ डिफरेंट डिफरेंट तरीके से या डिफरेंट एजेंसीज के द्वारा हम अगर स्टूडेंट्स को और फैकल्टी को दे सकेंगे, तो ये बहुत अच्छा होता है। इससे ही हमारा ग्रोथ हो सकता है, ऐसे मुझे लगता है, ये मेरा पर्सनल परसेप्शन है। जहाँ तक मैं फॉरेन कंट्रीज के लोगों के साथ थोड़ा सा बिजनेस के बारे में बात करता हूँ, तो वो लोग वन स्टॉप सॉल्यूशन ही करते हैं, एकदम रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड काम करते हैं। हमारे तरफ भी बहुत रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड काम होता है, लेकिन एक चीज है, पूरी बनती है तो एक आदमी बना नहीं सकता है, वो भी बराबर है, लेकिन एक कंसेप्शनल नॉलेज और प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज, इसमें जो डिफरेंस है वो कहीं कम होना चाहिए, और एक ही जगह पे अच्छा सा सब कुछ मिलना चाहिए। इस तरीके का भी कुछ होना चाहिए, ऐसे मुझे लगता है। जहाँ तक टिश्यू कल्चर और नर्सरीज की बात आती है, तो मेरे पास एक प्लांट बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट का एक मेरा खुद का एक राइटिंग चल रहा है, जिसमें मैं एक मेरा खुद का एक बुक पब्लिश करना चाहता हूँ। और दूसरी बात, जो फार्मर्स को एम्पावरमेंट देने के लिए मेरे पास कुछ प्लान्स मैंने तैयार किए हैं, आगे चल के उसको भी मैं इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहता हूँ। इसी में हमारे गांव में अ, हमारे जो नियर बाय जो लोग थे, उनको भी हमने ये टिश्यू कल्चर से निकले हुए पौधे दे के उनकी तरफ से बढ़ा के लेने का हम अभी प्लान कर रहे हैं। अभी तो फिलहाल जो नॉन टिश्यू कल्चर होते हैं, ग्राफ्टेड प्लांट होते हैं, वो उनकी तरफ से बना के लेते हैं। तो इस तरीके का हम थोड़ा सा सोच रहे। पहले तो मुझे थोड़ा सा ऐसा लगता था कि मेरा ही खुद का कुछ अर्निंग होना चाहिए, जैसे कि सैलरी मिलती थी मुझे कॉलेज में, उससे भी थोड़ा डबल मिल जाए तो अच्छा रहेगा, ऐसा लगता था। अभी वो सब प्रॉब्लम से मैं बाहर आ चुका हूँ। अभी मुझे कुछ डिफरेंट तरीके से सोचने का मन करता है, तो इस टाइप का मैं काम करता हूँ। और दूसरी एक चीज़ है कि मतलब मेरा जो रिक्वेस्ट था वो है कि स्टूडेंट्स को कुछ प्रैक्टिकल लेवल पे एक ओवरऑल गेन होने के हिसाब से हम कुछ सिलेबस में इम्प्रूवमेंट्स कर सकेंगे, तो सब लोग मिलके जरूरी भी लगता है मुझे। अभी आपके तरफ का सिलेबस वगैरह मुझे नहीं पता है, मैं कुछ ये नहीं करना चाहता हूँ, मेरा कुछ मतलब सजेशन वगैरह नहीं है, लेकिन मैं जहाँ पे पढ़ा हूँ, जिस तरीके से मुझे एनवायरनमेंट मिला है, उसमें मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि और भी कुछ मिलना चाहिए। तो उस तरीके का यहाँ पे भी कुछ होना चाहिए, जैसे कि विद्यापीठ की ये बात है, तो इसलिए मैं एक रिक्वेस्ट के तरीके से बात कर रहा हूँ। और रही बात जो बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट और फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट के बारे में, मैं एक बात करना चाहता हूँ कि जब मेरे पास जितने भी अभी 127 लोग काम करते हैं, उनमें से एक ही आदमी पहले उसको नर्सरी का एन भी नहीं था पता, और टिश्यू कल्चर का टी भी पता नहीं था। जो फ्रेश लगते हैं, जो पहले किसी और जॉब दूसरी तरीके का भी कर नहीं किए थे, ऐसे नए नए लोगों को मैं लेके उनको ट्रेंड करके उनकी तरफ से एकदम हाई क्वालिटी वर्क करके लिए आया हूँ मैं, और उनको हैबिचुअल बन गए हो कि काम की वजह वो छुट्टी भी नहीं लेते। मैं ये भी बताना चाहता हूँ कि जो त्योहार होते हैं उस दिन भी हमारा नर्सरी चालू होता है, मतलब 365 डेज हम रन करते हैं। जो वीकली ऑफ वगैरह होता है तो ऑप्शनल देते हैं लोगों को, जिसको जिस दिन छुट्टी चाहिए वो ले सके। जो कि मंथली 4 छुट्टी होती है, तो वो भी हम ऑफर करते हैं, लेकिन अलग तरीके से। तो हम 365 डेज काम करते हैं। अगर एक एक दिन हम अगर छुट्टी लेते तो पौधों को पानी कौन डालेगा, ऐसा भी एक प्रॉब्लम था, उस हिसाब से हम काम करते हैं। और फैकल्टी जो डेवलप किया है हमने वो हमारा यूनिक है। अभी जो लोग हैं हमारे पास के, हमको छोड़ के कहीं और जा भी नहीं सकते, जाते ही नहीं सकते, मतलब वो जाते नहीं है, हमारे साथ उतना उनका लगाव हो चुका है। दूसरी बात यह है कि उनको जो नॉलेज दिया है हमने बाय हार्ट दिया है, एकदम अच्छे तरीके से उनको समझाया और सिखाया, और उनको इम्पोर्टेंस भी पता करके दिया है कि आगे चल के आपका क्या इसमें बेनिफिट हो सकता है। इस तरीके से हम काम करते हैं, और हर चीज़ को एक अलग तरीके से काम करने से हमको एक सफलता मिल रही है, और कंसिस्टेंटली हम ऊपर ही जा रहे हैं। तो इसमें मेरे पार्टनर का भी बहुत अच्छा सहयोग है, और जो हमको समझा लेते हैं, उनकी तरफ का फंड्स हमको दिया है उन्होंने, तो हम भी उनको बहुत अच्छे तरीके से आउटपुट दिया है, इसलिए कंसिस्टेंटली फंडिंग भी होता है। और बैंक ने भी हमको अच्छे तरीके से समझ के उन्होंने फंडिंग किया है। तो ये तो फाइनेंशियल बातें हमेशा होती है, करना ही पड़ता है। खुद के बलबूते पे कोई बड़ा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट भी काम नहीं करता है, तो लोन्स वगैरह लेना ही पड़ता है। उस हिसाब से हम करते हैं। अभी मेरे पास सब कुछ है, बस सिवाय एक टाइम उसका एक सबसे ज़्यादा लिमिटेशन आता है हमेशा। तो ये रहा मेरा ओवरऑल प्रेजेंटेशन, और एक नॉर्मल आपके साथ का कन्वर्सेशन। हम अभी आने वाले 15 मिनट के लिए सबके साथ एक खुला ओपन सेशन रखना चाहते हैं। थैंक यू सर।
बहुत बहुत अच्छा लगा आपको सुनते हुए। ये आपकी
Thank you
एक
so much.
सक्सेस स्टोरी है।
Yeah,
एक एंटरप्रेन्योर आप हैं टिश्यू कल्चर के,
yeah,
और ये एक सक्सेस स्टोरी है, और हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के लिए बहुत अच्छा रहेगा
yeah,
ये
sir,
देखा
sure.
कि भाई कैसे ये एज ए व्यवसाय हम उठा सकते हैं
Yes,
टिश्यू
sir, yes,
कल्चर,
sir.
और इसमें भी
हाँ, हाँ.
काफी पॉसिबिलिटीज हैं सक्सेसफुली रन करने के लिए,
Yes, yes.
और प्रॉफिट्स भी।
हाँ सर, अच्छा है। हाँ.
ये मैं जानना चाहता हूँ, रबर प्लांट्स के अलावा आप कौन से प्लांट्स में प्रोपगेशन करते हैं, माइक्रो प्रोपगेशन करते हैं?
अभी आप देख सकते हैं सर, ये जो है कैलेथिया की वैरायटी है, ये टिश्यू कल्चर से आया हुआ है। ये आगे जाके एग्लोनिमा की बहुत सारी वैरायटी है। तो हम ओवरऑल हम अगर मोटा मोटा बताएंगे तो स्किनडॉप्सिस है, जैसे एग्लोनिमा है, एंथेरियम है, कैलेडियम है, और डाइफन वैरायटीज है। ये हर एक के एक ऑलमोस्ट 20 वैरायटीज हम मेंटेन करते हैं। और जो बीज से आते हैं, ये आरेका पाम भी है, इनका भी हम प्रोडक्शन करते हैं। और जैसे कि बाकी कटिंग द्वारा जो बनाई जाती है वैरायटी, ये है अभी ये जास्मिन है, जैसे कि बाकी थुजिया है, और बहुत सारे वैरायटी है। हम अभी बताएंगे तो टाइम लग सकता है, तो
यानी
ऑलमोस्ट अभी तो
फ्लोरिकल्चर और लैंडस्केपिंग में जो
फ्लोरिंग,
इस्तेमाल
हाँ,
होते हैं
यस
वही आप प्रोपगेट करते हैं?
यस सर, यस सर।
हाँ
तो हमारा फर्स्ट पर प्रेफरेंस जो है वो सिर्फ इसका है, ऑर्नामेंटल का है
हाँ।
उसमें। हाँ, और फ्रूट का भी
तो
हम करते
आप
हैं।
बता भी रहे थे कि आप काफी काम करते हैं, रूरल एरियाज में भी आप काफी काम करते हैं, लैंडस्केपिंग
यस
काफी
सर,
आप करते हैं, इंस्टीट्यूट्स में
यस
भी
सर।
आप काम लेते हैं, तो नेचुरली
हाँ
वहाँ
सर,
लैंडस्केपिंग का ही काम करते हैं, तो नेचुरली आपके पास तो ये फ्लावर्स का ही ज्यादा काम रहेगा।
यस यस यस, फ्लावर्स का है, फ्रूट्स का भी है। फ्रूट्स भी बहुत नियर अबाउट 40 टाइप ऑफ फ्रूट गिविंग प्लांट्स हम ये
फ्रूट्स
करते
फ्रूट्स में
हैं।
कौन कौन से आप करते हैं?
मैंगो के ऑलमोस्ट 13 वैरायटीज है, जो लीडिंग वैरायटीज है।
जी,
उसमें गवा भी है, और चीकू होता है।
ठीक ठीक ठीक।
अभी बहुत सारे हैं सर वैरायटीज। यस
तो
सर,
यानी आप संतुष्ट है
बहुत
अपने
अच्छा
व्यवसाय
संतुष्ट
से?
है सर। हाँ हाँ, एक टेंशन था कुछ दिन पहले कि क्या होगा, मैं अच्छा
हाँ,
खासा
पहले
जॉब
पहले तो
छोड़
होता
चुका
है,
हूँ।
शुरुआत में तो होता ही
हाँ
रहता है, लेकिन जब
हाँ हाँ
एस्टेब्लिश हो गया फिर तो कोई
हाँ
चिंता नहीं
हाँ
रहती है।
हाँ। अब तो बस ये है कि थोड़ा सा हम सब जो टाइम का मैनेजमेंट सीखना चाहते हैं सब लोगों की तरफ से। हम कभी
मेरे
कभी
बहुत
उसमें
बहुत
कम ज्यादा होते
शुभकामनाएं, हमारी
हैं।
ओर से बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आपको, आपके व्यवसाय के लिए।
थैंक यू सर,
बहुत बहुत
थैंक यू
धन्यवाद,
सर, थैंक यू,
आपने अपना समय दे दिया।
थैंक यू। यस सर, यस सर।
अ,
और किसी का अगर क्वेश्चन है तो प्लीज पूछिए।
सर मैं कुछ बोलना चाहता हूँ। स्पेशली
yeah.
फॉर द शिवाजी सर।
Yes, sir.
सर आपने बातें जब करते थे तो आपने बार बार ये किया कि हम बहुत दिल से और लगन से काम करते हैं। यही सर जो होता है ना, ये जो सीक्रेट होता है कि यशस
Yes, sir.
जो सक्सेसफुल लाइफ का यही एक सीक्रेट होता है। जब आप दिल
Yes.
से और लगन से और ग्रास रूट लेवल पे जब काम करते हैं ना, तभी आप
हाँ सर।
यश के शिखर पर पहुंच पाते हैं। आपने ये भी जिक्र किया, बात करते थे कि आप 16 घंटे काम करते हैं। आपका जो पर लेमिनार प्रोडक्शन था वो 2 लाख से लेकर आपने 28 लाख तक बढ़ाया था। आपने 400 वैरायटीज, डिफरेंट वैरायटी आपने मतलब वो आपके नर्सरी में तैयार होती है। उसके साथ आपने ये भी कहा कि जब काम करते हुए टाइम आपको बहुत सारी कठिनाई आई, दिक्कतें आई, तो एक बोलते हैं कि नेसेसिटी इज द मदर ऑफ इन्वेंशन, जरूरत ही आविष्कार की जननी होती है। उसी तरह आपके जो दिक्कतें आई तो आपने उसको प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के लिए नए टेक्निक अपने डेवलप किए। तो ये सब जो चीजें हैं, आपका स्ट्रगल है, आपका, आपने ये भी कहा कि आप स्टूडेंट भी रहे हो, आपने पढ़ाया भी है, अपनी मार्केटिंग भी किया है, मतलब आपने हर एक स्टेज पे काम किया है, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द गेटिंग ऑफ द नॉलेज, then converting knowledge into the practical work, and from practical work to gain the money from your experience। तो आप हर एक स्टेज पे आपने अच्छा काम किया है। तो मुझे लगता है अपना जो काम है आपका वो बहुत प्रशंसनीय काम है, बहुत अप्रिसिएबल काम है। और मुझे लगता है मतलब अभी तक जितने भी सेशन हुए हैं उसमें मतलब ये जो होता है, जो ग्रास रूट लेवल पे काम करता है, यही इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है कि युवाओं को ये इंस्पायर करती है। जब युवा देखते हैं तो अपने जैसे लोग खरीदते हैं। जो अब आपने हमने हमारा जो आपका भी हमने सेशन सुना, तो हमें लगता है ये हमारे जैसे ही है, हमारे से रूरल बैकग्राउंड से आए हैं, हमारे से उन्होंने स्ट्रगल किया है, तो एक अपनापन लगता है। अब जब युवाओं को जब अपनापन लगता है तो दिखता है कि नहीं, हमारे जैसे ही ये सक्सेस हो सकते तो हम क्यों नहीं। तो
Yes, yes.
ये आपका बहुत, आप काम जारी रखिएगा। आपने ये भी कहा कि आप बुक पब्लिश कर रहे हो, तो आपको पब्लिश करने के आपको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। आपके हाथ
Thank you,
से
sir.
ऐसे ही भारत माता की कृषि की सेवा हो, आपके हाथ से बहुत अच्छा काम हो, और मैं ये आशा भी करता हूँ आगे जाकर इस टेक्निक पर भी एक अच्छा बुक लिखें। क्योंकि आप आजकल जब हम लिखते हैं तो अच्छा लिटरेचर नहीं मिलता। लिटरेचर बहुत सारी जगह ऐसे मिलता है जो कॉपी पेस्ट वाला होता है। आपने भी ये कहा कि जो लिटरेचर है, तो मुझे लगता है कि आप भी इस पे काम करें, आपका नॉलेज जो एक्सपीरियंस है आप नोट डाउन करें, और आप बुक लिख रही हो, आपके हाथों से बहुत अच्छा काम भी हो। और एक बार मैं आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। आपने ये भी कहा कि आपके हाथ में 127 लोग काम करते हैं, और जिनको टीचिंग कल्चर का टी भी पता नहीं था, तो आपने उनको सब पढ़ाया है। उसी तरह आपके हाथों से और भी अच्छा काम हो। डजेंट मैटर, कभी कभी लैंग्वेज का बैरियर आ जाता है, लेकिन आप जैसे कि आपके, मुझे ये लगता है कि आप और अलग अलग भाषा भी सीखे, जैसे कि इंडियन भाषा है जो बाकी स्टूडेंट्स के भी काम आ जाएगी। तो
Yeah,
आपका
yeah,
एक जो
yeah. Sure, sure.
ब्रॉड सेंस हो जाएगा कि कभी कभी होता है कि लैंग्वेज बैरियर होता है, वो भी आप
Yes, sir.
प्रॉब्लम टैकल करें, और पूरे भारत
Yeah,
के
yeah. Sure, sure.
युवाओं को आपसे प्रेरणा मिलेगी, मैं यही आशा करता हूँ।
Yes, sir. Yes,
और
sir.
आपका
आपका
नॉलेज
सजेशन
शेयर
में
करने
बिल्कुल।
के लिए मैं आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ।
थैंक यू सर। और एक बात
और
मैं बताना चाहता था थोड़ा सा, एक्चुअली सॉरी फॉर इंटरप्शन। मैं ये बात बताना चाहता था कि जो लड़के अभी स्टूडेंट्स जो है वो ग्लोरी के नॉलेज में आ रहे हैं, सबको लग रहा है कि किस में ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस है। जैसे कि हम एक लाइन यूज करते थे कि उसमें जॉब ज्यादा है, उसमें जॉब कम है। ये वाला एक ट्रेंड चलता है सब लड़कों के अंदर, उसके उनका जो बात होता रहता है। तो ये कोर्स करेंगे तो ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस रहता है। तो मैं ये हमेशा बताता हूँ कि कोई जो ये है लाइन है, कोई भी डिसिप्लिन है, वो कोई कम इसकी नहीं होती है, इम्पोर्टेंस की नहीं होती है। जैसे अभी फार्मिंग ही है मेरा, ये फार्मिंग में भी मैं कुछ अच्छा इनकम गेन कर सकता हूँ, ये मैंने बता के दिया है। तो इस तरीके से हम ये जो नर्सरी है, इसमें हम जो भी बुक लिख रहे हैं, उसमें मैंने बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स को ही टैकल करने के लिए सब कुछ चीज़ें ग्राउंड रूट लेवल पे वो बहुत विस्तार से लिख रहा हूँ। इसमें एक वो जो बुक पढ़ेगा, तो एक्चुअली तो ये है कि बुक पढ़ के कोई एक एंटरप्रेन्योर नहीं बन सकता है, लेकिन उससे बहुत अच्छी प्रेरणा मिलेगी और कुछ उसमें ट्रिक्स भी आएगी। यस वालुस्कर सर को मैं रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि जो मेरे प्रेजेंटेशन बनाए हैं उसको थोड़ा सा सबको बताएंगे, तो उसमें हमारे टिश्यू कल्चर लैब का भी प्रदर्शन हो सकता है, कुछ हो सकता है सर।
कोई क्वेश्चन पार्टिसिपेंट से? कोई क्वेश्चन? एनी क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम participants? The session is open for discussion. Any question?
हेलो
Once again, thank you, sir.
नारायण सर,
हाँ,
या
सर की पीपीटी ओपन कर दीजिए ना, आपको जो शेयर की है।
I have shared, sir.
यस सेकंड स्लाइड प्लीज सर।
Great, sir.
हाँ ये रहा हमारा ग्रोथ रूम, जिसमें हम प्लांट टिश्यू कल्चर जो बनाए हुए प्लांट होते हैं उसको ग्रो करते हैं। नेक्स्ट प्लीज सर।
नारायण सर,
नेक्स्ट
प्लीज नेक्स्ट स्लाइड।
नेक्स्ट करिए सर। हाँ सर, ये हमारा ये ट्रांसफर रूम है जहाँ पे हमारे ये एम्प्लॉइज प्लांट्स को कट करके मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं। उसका ये एक सेकंड में जूम किया हुआ है सर। प्लीज नेक्स्ट।
नेक्स्ट स्लाइड नारायण सर।
हाँ यही इसी तरीके से बॉटल में हम कुछ हाँ ये रबर प्लांट का ही है। हाँ ये हमारा मीडिया प्रिपरेशन रूम है। ये कुछ प्लांट्स हमने अलग तरीके से बनाए थे, इसका एक इमेज है। नेक्स्ट सर। या ये एक सिंगोनियम वैरायटी का इमेज है। ये भी सिंगोनियम का डिफरेंट वैरायटी का है। हाँ ये ग्रोथ रूम की ये है। इसमें हम ये बताना चाहते हैं कि लोगों के जो डिफरेंट ये रहते टिश्यू कल्चर यूनिट रहते उसमें स्पेस यूटिलाइजेशन उतना कर नहीं पाया, मतलब उतना दिखता नहीं है। हम जो है मैक्सिमम स्पेस यूटिलाइजेशन किया है। नेक्स्ट प्लीज सर। नेक्स्ट सर। ये रहा हमारा लातूर का गार्डन का गैलरी, जिसमें हम ऐसे डेंस प्लांट लगाते हैं। हाँ ये वर्टिकल गार्डन बनाते हैं हम। इसमें आर्टिफिशियल वर्टिकल गार्डन और लाइव गार्डन दोनों भी है। एक लैंडस्केप का काम किया था हमने। हाँ इसी में हम सब कुछ लगा है। हमारा नर्सरी का नाम गार्डन गैलरी है और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नाम भारत बायोटेक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड है। तो इस तरीके से हमारा ये सेशन, मतलब अगर कुछ क्वेश्चंस है तो हम लेंगे। अगर थैंक यू फॉर गिविंग मी अपॉर्चुनिटी सर। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you, sir.
विद यस सर,
Thank
थैंक
you,
यू।
sir.
हाँ मैं लीव कर सकता हूँ सर।
So now we will move towards the next session. We have the next our resource person. शिवाजी सर, आपका अगर टाइम है आप कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं या फिर आप लीव कर सकते हैं।
यस सर श्योर।
So Next, I would like to invite our next resource person, Dr. Sunil Adangali sir. So, Sunil sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, you are audible, sir.
So first, I would like to welcome you on the behalf of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya Indore and Sri Vaishnav Institute of Agriculture in the online 1 week online faculty development program, which is on agri entrepreneurship. So today we had two important speakers, resource persons, those who have given the important insights on the plant tissue culture techniques in commercial crops as well as in horticulture and another important crops. So now we have the next resource person, Dr. Sunil B. Adangali sir, and now I take opportunity to read his brief biodata. Sir has a total 12-year experience. Among 12 years, he has a 4-year academic experience. He has also worked in 4 years in a research. He has also worked 4 years in a extension. So sir has worked in 3 sectors: research, extension, as well as in education, in academic. Sir has a specialization in a poultry production and animal production. He has guided total 6 number of students. He has published 38 research papers. He has published 12 abstracts. He has also published 11 technical articles. He has also published his extension publications are 28. He has also published 7 booklets. He has also given several radio talk on the radio talk, as well as he has also given talk in a national seminar. He has attended national seminar, national conference, international conference, short training courses, and webinar. Then sir has also attended data mining techniques for the farm animal management at NDRI Karnal. He also attended the training nutrition, production, and product quality in farm animals at IVRI, Nagar, Uttar Pradesh. He has also attended the training program of strategies to overcome the challenges in research, nutritional, and management practices for poultry production, VCRI, Namakkal, Tamil Nadu, India. Now I request Dr. Sunil Adangali sir, please enlighten us and share your
Thank you, Dr.
knowledge
Narayanji,
faculty.
for my brief introduction.
Sir, you are sharing the PPT?
Yeah. Is my PPT is visible?
Yes, your PPT is visible, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the brief introduction. And thank you all the staff members from the Sri Vaishnav Vishwavidyalaya Vidyapith Indore for giving me the opportunity to express my some views in relation to the poultry production. Basically, my work related to the poultry production, and today's topic, my topic is the nutritive enrichment of the eggs for human health benefits. See how we enrich the eggs through the different methodology. So we'll see in the discussion. Actually, we know the poultry industry is a fast growing sector in the Indian economy, and it contributes about 8% of the total gross income. As we know, the poultry industry sector represents one of the biggest success stories in the country for the past decades. And we know the India ranks 3rd in the eggs production and 7th in the meat production in the world. In India, what happened? The broiler production has assumed the dimension of the poultry, in which the quality, quantity of the meat production is also of paramount importance. And considering the feed enterprises it contribute about to 70 to 80% of the total cost of the poultry enterprises. So when they increase the production of the quality meat at a lower cost is need of the day. Means cost should be reduced through the feed enterprises and will achieve the more and more production through the poultry production. Now in what happened in the modern lifestyle, means the people's lifestyle and the food habits are changed and compared to the previous generation, and the consequences of these induce several lifestyle diseases, maybe heart diseases, hypertension, and the diabetic also. So considering the current competitive world, people are prone to more stress in which cause free radical associated diseases. Okay. So the race of the diseases due to the oxidative stress is also associated with unhealthy lifestyle. So that considering the lifestyle, how will you increase the different eggs production? Will by modifying or modulating through the different methodology. It may be omega-3 eggs production, it may be herbal eggs, it may be low cholesterol eggs. It may be possible through the different methodology by enriching the eggs. Now considering that in India about growth rate of the poultry eggs is 1.736 crore pieces, and it will increases from the 2.0 in the financial to 2021. And considering the in relation to the meat, 76.74 lakhs tons in the 1920, and now the growth in 2021 it was about 9.98%. So this is the most important thing, that the growth in the poultry industry related to the India is having in higher stage. Now the different eggs producing states in the India, that is the Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, West Bengal, and the Haryana. Now the first 5 states having highest meat producing state in India. These are the Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, and the Telangana. And the per capita availability of the eggs in 2021, it is the 91 number per annum. And per capita consumption the eggs in India is 52 eggs. And per capita consumption of the poultry meat is at 2.5 kg. Now see the growth of the poultry production growth rate. See, from the 2013 to 23, it may be projected 1, and the poultry meat growth rate is shows that the from the last 10 years and will grow around 2.3% per year. Okay, means in the 2023 it is around 134.5 million tons. This is the growth rate of the poultry sector. Now see the this is the poultry industry status. There is about the as I stated in the last slide, India is the second in the eggs production, third in the broiler chicken production in the world, and it about annual broiler meat production, that is 3.8 million tons. Through these poultry industry, the value of the Indian poultry market is 90,000 crore, and revenue will get in 16, that is up to March 2014, that is a 565 crore. And while considering the nutrition, the majority of the poultry product are the importers means the India exporting the different poultry products through the different countries such as the Oman, Germany, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, and the Afghanistan. Now see, what are the eggs? Actually, all of you know the eggs is the whole reproductive body produced by the female of the poultry, in which nutrition semi-liquid content are packed in the hard calcareous shell. That is the shell is considered of the calcium. And while considering the composition of the eggs per 100 gram, it having the moisture and the basically we focus on the protein, then the lipid, carbohydrate, and the calcium. One of the most important things is the calcium also, and the cholesterol also. See the protein 12.56, then the cholesterol 372 milligram. So this is the composition of the eggs, and how we alter the composition of the eggs by different methodology we see in the next part. Now, what are the factors which are driving the consumption? Now, see, growth is not driven by production but also increasing the consumption. As we know, the consumption is increasing, automatically growth of the poultry sector is also increasing. Then the public concern for the quality and safe food. Now peoples are around it, or the peoples are aware about the quality of the food, and they want this safe food, so that quality and the hygiene is maintained, and it having the great importance. Now poultry meat and eggs have already gained a healthy image. So while quality consideration and the sea production, it also having the good for the poultry sector also. Then the urbanization is also one of the factors there. Change in the lifestyle and the food habit. No, all of you know our lifestyle is different, and the working hours and so on. All these things, and the food habits also prefer uh, for the better lifestyle. So the lifestyle is important, and consumers purchasing capacity. Moreover, all of you know the more earning is there, and considering the purchasing capacity of the peoples are increasing, so that the people are able to get the and give the higher price for the different food products. So public demand is also important for the food of the specific quality, and it's also having, it depends on the customer's demand. So these are the factors by driving the consumption and importance in the poultry sector. Now see this is the quality. Then why the quality is important, and why it having the important role in the nutritive enrichment of the eggs. Now see what people like best and why they are ready to pay more than an average price is important. People are pay more than average price as their quality product and safe food they are required, and their the purchasing ability is also increases, and it's having the healthy image in the poultry production, so that they need the quality product, and they are able to give a higher price also. So these are the important for the poultry industry. Now see, all of you know the eggs are the nature's original functional food, because the 30 important vitamins and the minerals are present in the eggs, and quality of the eggs protein is the better than many animal protein sources. As compared to the animal protein source, the eggs are the richest source or the very good source as compared to the animal protein source, such like the chicken and meat also. And it having the it contains the all the nutritional package also. So one large is how much contained? The one large is contained about the 70 to 80 kilocalorie energy, protein 7 gram, and the fats 4.5 grams about the fats. One whole large eggs, which is having the average 55 gram weight. So that these one large eggs contain some about the energy, protein, and the fats. In the fats also, it contains the saturated fat, polyunsaturated fat, and the monounsaturated fat also, and also contain the 200 to 250 milligram cholesterol. This modification we can also alter the cholesterol content, or the saturated fatty acid, or the fatty acid content, or the protein content by different methodology. And these are the some the nutritional quality in the sodium, that is different vitamin mineral, that is sodium, potassium, carbohydrate, choline. All these having the significant quantity of the vitamin B12 also is there, folic acid is there also, selenium. These are having the important considering the nutritional significance. Now, what are the strategies to consider in eggs nutrient enrichment? Now see the efficacy of the nutrient transfer from the feed to eggs. While searching all while when I conduct the different trials also, I observe that I observe that the efficacy of the nutrient transfer from the feed to eggs means the level of the means when we applied the we use the linseed in the feed at different level, we'll observe that the efficacy one of the important for the nutrient transfer from the feed to the eggs. Sometimes the garlic is so, tulsi is there. So these addition may be there while finding out the different percentage in the eggs. Then the availability of the sources of the effective feed forms of the nutrients. So availability of the different sources with the minimum cost is also important for the nutrient enrichment. Then the is there any toxic effect is there or for the laying health or is having it arises any health issue to the laying hens or so on. So taking these points also taking into consideration. Then the amount of the nutrient delivered with an eggs in comparison with the recommended dietary allowances. As the dietary allowances, what will be the cholesterol content will be there, omega-3 fatty acid will be there. So this considering the situation, then it may be added in the diet of the hen. Then the established health promoting properties of the nutrients and their shortage in the modern diet. So all these having suppose which considering the garlic are added into diet, so that the diet garlic is having antioxidant property, so that such property may be considered or taken in consideration for the enrichment of the eggs. Then the effect of the nutrient enrichment on appearance and taste also. So sometimes there may be suppose we are considering the fish oil for the omega-3 production of the eggs, there may be chances of the uh, taste will be there in the eggs. So these points to be considered for the eggs nutrient enrichment. Now we'll see the impact of the fat and the cholesterol. What all of you know that the obesity is associated with the metabolic disorder and it having the abnormal blood lipid profile. So then the arthrosis, then the high blood pressure, then non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. These are related to the fat and the cholesterol will be there. So that how will reduce the cholesterol by formulation of the diet with the low energy means the whatever the diet added mean suppose in case of the energy energy the maize is the richest source of the energy in the diet of the poultry, so that they formulate the diet according to the energy requirement, then they increase the fiber level in the diet. Many of the doctors suggested that the diabetic patient should increase the fiber level in the diet. So that is the reasons for the reduction in the cholesterol, and it will be helpful for the healthy way. And it is associated with the heart diseases so that the fiber level in the diet is increased for the reduction of the cholesterol. So what are the different resources for the addition for the production of the low cholesterol eggs, that are the garlic, ginger, and the chitin and the copper. These are the some of the sources. Though then some of the findings suggested that the large eggs contain, that is the about the over an average 55 gram eggs contain the 200 milligram cholesterol, and a chicken meat contains about 60 milligram per 100 gram. So low cholesterol eggs, by reducing size of the eggs or by altering lipid profile of the eggs, we observed when we added the different sources of the low cholesterol content agent, that is the garlic is there, then chromium is also there, copper is there, nicotine is there, then the tulsi, that's the basil is there, then the plant steroid, some of the sources, then the some of the omega-3 fatty acid, the polyunsaturated fatty acid supplementation in the feed of the hen or the in the diet of the poultry industry. Now some of these examples are there. Reddy 1991 suggested that it added the garlic in the diet, and probiotic is also there, and lactobacillus they also says that the poultry feed help to reduce the eggs cholesterol. So for the garlic is there, and lactobacillus acidophilus, that is also bacteria is there. So this helpful to reduce the cholesterol content in the eggs. Then the eggs and plasma cholesterol level reduced by 23 and 22% respectively by addition of the garlic also. This is one of the another sources there. And one of the biggest best advantage of the low cholesterol eggs, that is the claustrophobia among the consumer is there. So by reducing the cholesterol level in the plasma, we can also reduce the chances of the different heart diseases, heart related diseases there. So cholesterol is important for the human health. Now, omega-3 fatty acid enrichment of the egg.
So, excuse me, sir. You are not audible, sir. Baba Sahib, sir.
Hello.
Dr. Baba Sahib, sir, please communicate with Sunil, sir.
Okay.
Something
I think
network
there
issue.
is some network issue. Yes, just come. Narayan sir, this is join within 2 minutes. There is some network issue.
So, shall we end the session or will you continue?
No. They will continue.
He's joining, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dear participants, there is some network issue. We have communicated with Sunil sir. Very soon he will again rejoin the meeting. Baba Sahib sir, am I audible?
Yes,
So
sir.
once again you communicate with the sir.
I just call him, sir.
Hello. Hello. Hello, Dr. Narayan.
Ma'am.
Ah,
We are
what
try-
we have to do? Huh?
Ma'am, we are trying to communicate with Dr. Sunil, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Ma'am, we'll wait for the 2 minutes. Dr. Baba Sahib sir is communicating with the sir.
Okay.
Some network issues there.
And there is some network issue and some light issue. So they wait. They said wait for 2 minutes.
युवराज सर क्लोज हो गया क्या?
Sir, some technical issues there. So speaker, we have communicated with speaker.
ओके सर.
काय झालं sir? respected faculty members. Our resource person is trying to connect our meeting. Just we have communicated with the resource person. They are trying to connect with our meeting. Am I audible, sir? Sunil, sir? Am I audible, Sunil, sir? Sir had joined again, he left. Sir joined again, he left. Ah, sir, I joined. Am I audible, sir? Sunil, sir?
Yes, yes, sir. Wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute, sir.
क्या कह रहे हो सर? हाँ. एक ही बात है.
एकच मिनिट फक्त ट्राय करतो एकदा.
Sunil, sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Just a minute, sir.
if there is any technical issue, then with the permission of a resource person, we end the session. If there is any technical problem, with the permission of a resource person, Sunil sir, am I audible? Sir, please unmute yourself, sir. You are mute now. Okay.
चालेल चालेल. नारायण सर बोलतात, एक मिनिट मी बघतो, ट्राय करतो.
Sir, please share your PPT, sir.
Sir, just a minute.
Your voice is clear now. You share your PPT, sir, and you continue, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sunil sir, am I audible? Sunil sir, am I audible? Dr. Sunil sir, am I audible? Again, he left, I think, the meeting. we'll wait for the 2 minutes and then we'll start our.
Dr. Narayan, please wait for 2 minutes and then talk to resource person. And
Yeah. Sir,
if
if within 2 minutes the issue will not solve, then we'll start the we'll express the word of thanks.
you can request him for next day that he can join.
Yes. Dr. Baba Sahib is communicating with him.
Yes.
Narayan sir, shall I continue?
Yeah. You continue, sir. You continue.
Sorry for the disturbance. All the participants, I really sorry for
Continue,
the,
sir.
some technical issues there. Now, our omega-3 fatty acid enrichment. Now, considering the nomenclature of the eggs, omega eggs, first developed by the Germany, then the Columbus eggs, United Kingdom, and the bio omega-3 eggs, Greece. So this is the actually the omega-3s are very rich source of the excellent source of the polyunsaturated fatty acid. Many of you know that the polyunsaturated fatty acid are very important for the DHA, that is a linoleic and digoxalic acid, and it increases and very dependent. So this may be possible by the designing the eggs, and when we designing the eggs by addition of the omega-3 eggs, then the some references are there. The omega-3 eggs or the omega-3 production eggs are the
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. Sunil, sir, your voice is breaking. Sunil, sir, your voice is not audible. I think if there is any technical issue, then Sunil, sir, if there is any technical issue, then next day we can arrange your lecture, sir.
yes.
Okay, sir, with your permission, I request Dr. Chavi Tiwari. Chavi, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, with the permission of a resource person, Dr. I request Dr. Chavi Tiwari. Chavi, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible now, Dr. Narayan.
With the permission of the resource person, I request Dr. Chavi Tiwari, ma'am, to express the word of thanks. Ma'am, please take over.
Thank you, Dr. Narayan. Good afternoon to all. On behalf of all participants as well as our institute, I would like to say thank you to respected Dr. S.V. Savardikar and Mr. Shivaji Supari. Dr. Sunil Ardan Gade, from my bottom, I'm giving thank you from my bottom of heart as they have spared time with us to enrich our knowledge about plant tissue culture, technique in economically important crops, tissue culture technique for production of ornamental plants, and poultry industry. I think today's session was very significant. I express my sense of gratitude towards respected Professor Vinod Dhar sir, coordinator, Shri Vaishno Institute of Agriculture, for making this FDP successful. I also thankful to respected Dr. K.N. Guru Prasad sir, Dean, Shri Vaishno Institute of Agriculture, for all support in this faculty development program. I also thankful to all the participants for attending this session patiently and sincerely. Thank you so much to our IT team for technical support. मैं डॉक्टर शिवाजी सुपारे को विशेष धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ कि उन्होंने अपना एक्सपेरिमेंटल यूनिट दिखाकर हमारा ज्ञान बढ़ाया और हमारा उत्साहवर्धन भी किया. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Now I declare the session is closed. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.